Let's rewind.
Rewind!
Welcome back, ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan Airy, and guess what? We thought we were live for 10 minutes, but we weren't. So we're sorry that we're starting late, but we are here to cover Cinemacon live. We have someone on the floor right now. Mr. Brandon Davis is going to join us after Disney's panel. As we're going along, we are going to introduce you to everything that's happening on the floor. Of course, right now, Disney is starting their panel. It's very exciting. And just to give you guys an idea of what Disney's going to be covering, what we're looking at, they're expected to talk about Moana, Toy Story 5, The Mandalorian and Grogu, The Devil Wears Prada 2, and of course, the one we're all waiting for, Ice Age 5. And I think they might also be talking about Avengers Doomsday somewhere in there as well. So just so you guys know, we did have a technical hiccup there. I didn't hit the live button. So we're doing this all over again. And I'm so glad I've got some friends here to join me. We're talking about leading up to all these different reveals. We are going to be talking about all the other Marvel news that's come out recently. We've had news about Wanda Maximoff, about Wiccan, about all these Marvel layoffs, which are awful, that we'll talk about in just a second. Also, maybe Wonder Woman has been cast this week. Alex Perez has given rumors about a particular character who's going to be an important bridge to the X-Men in Avengers Doomsday. There is a lot to go over. So in order to talk about this, I want to bring on my guest. And just so you guys know, later on after the panel, Brandon Davis is going to join us live to give us a firsthand account of everything that he sees on the floor. And if the Avengers Doomsday trailer or any footage is released publicly by Disney tonight, we will be breaking it down on screen. So I'm really excited about that. And again, I'm sorry for all you people that were sitting around for 15 minutes and didn't see us at all. As always, super chats are encouraged, but not required. Now, let's bring on our special panel here. You know him as the guy who's always on break, Mr. Tommy Bechtold. What up, Tommy?
Well, no, Janet. The office closes when I leave. My work ethic is second to none.
And
Ryan, great
Tommy,
to be here.
Working after 5 o'clock, man. Working so hard. We've already been on for 10 minutes, and then here you are working again. I'm so embarrassed about being late to the stream tonight, guys. Sorry about that. YouTube sucks bad. Give us $2 and said it's all Tommy's fault. The stream is late. Can't agree more. And you guys know our next guest from the Comic Book Club podcast, Mr. Alex Zalben. How's it going, Alex, for the second time? What's up?
Oh, great. Like Scrat, I can't wait to get any nut of information Disney is about to give me.
Guys, Ice Age 5 is going to be lit. And we were talking earlier about Devil Wears Prada 2. That movie's tracking for an $80 to $100 million opening weekend, which I've never seen the first one, but I've seen clips on YouTube. It looks great. Like, no lie. Like, I really
Can I tell you something I'm actually legitimately excited about with Devil Wears Prada 2? It's an hour and 20 minutes long. That's great. This is 100% true. This is not
80
a joke.
minutes? How do you know that? Do you have a friend at Technicolor?
No. They sent out the screening invites and they were like 1 hour, 20 minutes
oh my God.
long. And I was like, sign me up. I'm there. And then I'm out and I'm back home and I'm asleep. So
I got a personal connection to Devil Wears Prada too. So when they started filming, my wife and I were coming into the airport there in New York City, and there was somebody there, like I got my bag, but then somebody thought it was his bag. And we had this little, I don't think that's your bag, sir, kind of thing. And his wife like barreled over, like, what's the problem here? What's going on? And I was like, oh, nothing. It's fine. And my wife was like, do you know who that was? And it was Rachel Bloom, who is in Devil Wears Prada 2 and Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. And I was like, I'm a huge fan of her show. I wish I did not have celebrity blindness. I was like, seriously, like, you can't see me full screen, but I was like this close to Ewan McGregor, walked right by him on the street. And my Scottish family were like, that was Ewan McGregor. And I was like, I didn't see him. I didn't see Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was right there. He probably could have been dressed as Obi-Wan Kenobi or a heroin addict from Trainspotting. I still would have missed him. And now let's bring on our last guest, Mr. Mike Mazzella, Doug's attorney. Mike, I cut you off right in the middle. We were talking about generative AI. I'm sorry about that. It's good to see you.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just trying to remember all of that organic, witty banter that we had the first go around. It felt so good.
So hard to replicate.
I was saying something about how I am excited because Cinemacon, if you guys don't know, this is the convention for people who own movie theaters to decide which movies they are going to show on their screens. I'm just hoping that there is an exhibit also for the icy and the popcorn innovations and the candy innovations.
And the beer.
And of course, lest we not forget, the popcorn bucket. Okay.
And they do actually have that. They actually have the popcorn buckets. There were some people that were putting some footage online of the Masters of the Universe popcorn buckets that I saw, including prototypes and everything. And they're pretty sexy.
Dude, I'm getting more and more intricate.
I just one Masters of the Universe movie and the popcorn bucket, man. That was my shit growing up. We did a live breakdown of it, and I was just like fanboying the whole time. And also, Masters of the Universe is already pretty sexy, so they don't really have their work cut out for them. It's hard to make it unsexy.
You can't have a good popcorn bucket if it's not sexy. Otherwise, it's not going to sell. Let's be honest.
I mean, Dune really ruined it for all other popcorn buckets. Now I'm getting uncomfortable. So I want to. Do you guys remember the first night of Cinemacon? Tom Rothman, CEO of Sony, who's had like questionable opinions about movies that Sony's made over the years, gave a speech to these movie theater owners where he was like, "Hey, stop showing commercials so much because people don't like it. And if you want more people to come to the movies, it's on you to make it a better experience." In other words, we're spending all this money making art and you guys are letting it tank. I mean, preach. I was surprised to hear that. They're trying things like popcorn buckets, and all we want are maybe some short films instead of commercials.
He's 100% right, and I'm glad he said it. You know, he comes out every year and says something that seems shocking, but as far as I read from reading his statements, it seemed right on the money. Like, he was like, I love theaters. You are thinking about a short-term strategy with showing half an hour of ads before your movie. Instead, don't do that because people don't like that experience. You want people to come back a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now in order to preserve the theatrical experience. Make it a good experience versus if I watch something at home, I don't need to sit through half an hour of ads. So he was saying with all kindness in his heart, as far as I could tell, and he's right. It's getting to be a more and more miserable experience. And I say that also as somebody who loves going to the movie theater.
I mean, I think about like Alamo Drafthouse, right? How they curate what they show ahead of time. They curate the slides. They curate the short films, the funny like bits from the internet. Our friend Patrick Willems, they will always try to show his Wes Anderson X-Men movie. I want that. I want like a little bit of that old timey taste of when I go to the films. You know, I want the popcorn bucket with questionable motives, but I also want to see some like potentially Academy Award winning short films. Like bring me in, maybe even some news on the march.
Yeah, and I'd love it. It was a nickel for 2 to 3 movies as well. That would be great.
I mean, yeah. I mean, AMC tried that. That tanked pretty fast. Earlier, I'm going to stop saying earlier because now we're pretty much caught up to where we were. So there's a lot of Marvel news that's happened this week. I mean, a lot of stuff has happened this week. And because of everything going on, and Colton, who, by the way, normally Colton would be the one at Cinemacon, but he can't do it this year and he's not here because he's having a baby or some lame stuff like that. So congratulations, Colton. But we've got all this Marvel stuff we've been wanting to talk about. And as the presentations are going on and we get news, we will discuss it. Any footage that's released publicly, we'll watch it and discuss it. And we're going to talk about some of the news from this past week. First of all, I think we all seem like we're in a pretty good mood. Let's bring it down a little bit and depress everybody. Disney laid off over 1,000 employees this week from Marvel's visual effects department. I believe those numbers are right. So they were all from there.
Can I throw out something? I believe it was 1,000 employees total across Disney, and that included most of the visual development department. I don't know if it was the effects as well, but it was definitely like the people that draw the backgrounds, do the previs stuff before they actually go to production. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I think you're right. And I'm sorry, I'm reading off the paper here and I totally got that wrong. But
wait, Disney fired all the Avengers? Is that what you just said?
Tommy, you got to stay locked in, buddy.
They're all gone.
So this is actually a big deal because the way Marvel makes their movies, you know, traditionally when you make a movie, you write a script and they go, we like this, and they storyboard it and they film it and then they do the visual effects. But the way Marvel is able to make so many movies in a row like this is because they start the most time-consuming process, visual effects, way earlier. They map out the big action sequences and then they start working on those visual effects. And then they bring in indie directors like Kate Shortland, for example, who did Black Widow. And they say, yep, okay, so you work with the actors. Don't worry about the action sequences. We got that, which is why Marvel has a house style. They call it Viz Dev, visual development. And now they're left with a skeleton crew. They amped up during like Disney Plus time with She-Hulk and all these other things happening at the same time. And now they're going to work with the skeleton crew and presumably farm everything out to other firms. Mike, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's incredibly unfortunate. We all obviously heard the stories over the past few years about how overworked all of these visual artists were, creating all of these scenes for Disney, whether it be between their Star Wars projects or their Marvel projects. And now that Disney has a rather large stake in a AI company, I do wonder whether or not video generation tools are now being used to supplant the people that did that stuff, particularly if it's previs, right? Because that's
Right.
not an end product. That's not something that you're going to see when you go to the theater. You might see it on the DVD extras, but you're not going to, not the average person is not going to see it. So they don't have to worry as much about rounding any sharp corners. They can get a pretty rough product from an AI and then give it to a smaller team of visual designers who are going to go in and actually do the VFX. I think that they are one of the movers in this direction, but really the entire industry is going to be going in this direction because AI has just gotten to the point where video generation tools are so advanced now and getting so good that eventually they'll just be able to replace the visual artists themselves too. And unfortunately, I do think that that is the direction that they're going. The reason that being that the competitive landscape has now advanced too, right? Anybody can go online, and if you have enough money and enough time, you can pay money to an AI generation tool and wait for it to generate an entire 2.5 hour long movie. So if you want to see a better Batman v Superman, or you want to see a better Doomsday, or you want to change the ending of Game of Thrones season 8, you can do that. And so now the studios are having to compete with people's imaginations and the money that they're willing to just give to an AI to have it make the story that they want, as opposed to what the studio thinks most people want.
Only thing I'll push back on about that is, for one thing, that deal's dead. Like, what it was the ChatGPT?
Yeah, but so they
Sora
put all of this money into it, and then ChatGPT came out and said, we're shutting down Sora, and then Disney said, and that deal is dead. And so I'm wondering what happened behind the scenes there. Obviously, we don't know. It's not public.
It's not, that's what I was going to say. It's not cost effective to make these videos yet. Like, I do think that if the technology were to keep getting cheaper, also like the amount of water it takes to make these and to cool the servers and everything, if it were to keep escalating and get cheaper and cheaper, yeah, I think I've been saying this on my Substack for a long time. I think that eventually that is what will exactly like you just said. I just don't know if the technology will ever hit that particular tipping point, short of like, I don't know,
we're pretty
drive that works off quantum.
To be clear, I don't think this is a good thing. I don't like this. I don't like that AI is.
Sounds to me like you like it. Sounds to me like
no, I don't. I'm trying to warn. I'm screaming at the masses. It's coming. It's coming. It's going to be here soon, and the entertainment industry will never be the same. Like everything that you like, you will be able to make yourself.
Visual effects artists don't have a union, or at least not a strong one like the rest of Hollywood does. They've actively resisted allowing them to do that, which really sucks. But anyways, that's a bummer. You know, I hate to see anybody lose their job, especially it further weakens that particular part of Hollywood. I think visual effects artists are overworked and overused. You know, Tommy was just saying there were people working 20-hour days and sleeping under their desks. It's an absolute tragedy. So yeah, that is too bad. That being said, shall we talk about some cheerier things?
Yeah.
And not our robot overlords. Okay. We didn't talk about this week. I want to run through some Cinemacon news that we missed, and then some of this new Marvel news that's been coming out lately. So we thought about doing a Cinemacon video like this about the Spider-Man Brand New Day footage that was leaked, but there really wasn't much to it. I'm going to give you guys a description of what was shown, and then I will tell you, and then I want to get your thoughts. And I will say this too, the reason there have been no leaks at all at Cinemacon is because they're employing this new technology that might even be AI driven, that shines like these green lasers and looks for phones, and it'll scramble your phone. So it's not even just like catching you. It's like, we'll screw up your phone. And I think that's going to hit movie theaters, or at least press screenings before too long too. The footage basically goes like this, that Peter meets Ned, and Ned is like obsessed with discovering who Spider-Man is. And it's got it narrowed down to Flash Thompson or Martin Starr's character, the teacher from Incredible Hulk and from the Spider-Man trilogy. And then he goes with Ned into his apartment building, and that's the party scene that we saw in the trailers where he meets MJ and she's kissing another guy. So it wasn't like a big special effects thing. It didn't reveal any of the plot, but it kept it interpersonal. and showed that Ned kind of has this inkling for Spider-Man. What are your thoughts on that?
It makes sense to me. Ned's magical. Ned has.
Oh yeah.
Ned has some of the similar sorcery elements to himself that I think, maybe is why there are some neurons in his brain still firing on behalf of Peter Parker. And I hope that, I want the big three back together again by the end of this movie. I really hope they all know who each other are. It's tough to not know who your friends are.
My big question out of the description, you mentioned MJ's new guy who's played by Iman Esfandi, who I believe I'm pronouncing his name right.
I think so.
And I think the internet had decided that he was Paul, which is a very recent character for the comics who ends up with MJ, who's kind of a schlub, like a very funny schlub. I actually have come around to really liking Paul, and I'm one of the minority there.
Am I wrong?
Yeah,
about that?
spoilers,
Yeah.
but yes, he just died in
So,
a
yeah,
very
spoiler
sudden
alert.
way.
That character you never heard of.
No,
is
it
dead
was a
now.
real bummer. I mean, shout out to this writer, Al Ewing, who's writing Venom right now and doing a killer job. But he made him like the butt of all jokes to the point that you love him, kind of. And then he had this really beautiful redemption issue where he died. Very sad. Everybody assumed he was Paul, but I saw somebody in one of the descriptions say that what Iman Esfandi's unnamed characters bring to the party is like top shelf liquor, which made me wonder, maybe it's not Paul, who's a schlub, but maybe it's Harry Osborn instead.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Could be interesting.
Could be. I mean, he's a big deal. He plays
that-
Ezra in the show Ahsoka, so it's good casting for Harry Osborn. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
I would love that. I would love if they were doing that. I wonder how they would justify what Willem Dafoe says in the previous movie, that Oscorp doesn't exist. So maybe he is Harry Osborn, but Norman Osborn was not successful and doesn't have this big
I love that
company or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Absolute Batman.
when they were looking for the Green Goblin in No Way Home, like around the city, they would have done some research and been like, oh, well, there is another guy named Norman Osborn who lives in Brooklyn or something. But that didn't happen. So I'm wondering if the Osborns exist at all. And if they do, how do they make what Willem Dafoe told us in No Way Home make sense? What I think about Ned having all of these questions about Spider-Man, I think it makes complete sense, right? Because we only ever saw Ned's reactions to Spider-Man from knowing that Peter is Spider-Man, right? Like the beginning of Homecoming, he finds out pretty quickly. So in this version of events, Ned never would have known that Peter was Spider-Man, but he still would have remembered Spider-Man being in Washington, D.C. at the Decathlon, being in Europe. So it makes sense that he thinks it's somebody in his school. And maybe if he didn't know that Peter was Spider-Man, he would have been obsessing over it and trying to find out all of the time, in the main actual continuity of what happened. I guess things didn't really change. It's just that people are misremembering the past. But from Ned's perspective, he never knew a Peter Parker, but there was always a Spider-Man somehow following them around everywhere they went. So that tracks.
Okay. Yeah. No, I like that. That makes total sense.
Do we think that maybe Flash is letting him think that he was Spider-Man?
Oh, definitely.
He's like,
yes.
Maybe I was Spider-Man. Maybe I don't know. Have you ever seen me and Spider-Man in the same place at the same time? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's totally possible.
100%. I think he would do that because even in No Way Home, he wrote that book. All my
about them being best friends,
best friends with Spider-Man. Right. They also released these sweet posters. One showing Spider-Man fight the Hand, which I don't really want to talk about because there's some potential Daredevil spoilers. And then we get a potential reunion here with MJ, like you wanted, Tommy. But we get I don't have the answers loaded up here, but it's a time-honored tradition of the reflection and the Spider-Man mask. We've had that in every single Spider franchise at this point, which is pretty awesome. Looks really good. They also showed images and gave us, I think, a 2028 release date for Beyond the Spider-Verse. My God. I mean, this is just... these are the best Spider-Man movies. It's hard to even... I don't think any of the others come close. Not just on visuals, but on heart. I love these movies so much and take all the time you need. It's the same way I feel about Grand Theft Auto 6. You need another 10 years, take 10 years.
When was this originally supposed to come out? Was this supposed
24.
to come out? 24, not 23, right?
I think 2024.
Yeah, I think 23 is when Across came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. God, I love movies are great though. So again, it's one of those things like you just got to be patient, but the Spider-Man stuff, that's a loaded movie. Toys came out this week too. that showed Savage Hulk, which I don't think is much of a spoiler. We all assume Savage Hulk would be in it. But that's a lot. We got like the Neogenic story from the animated series and the Punisher and the Hulk and whoever Sadie Sink's playing and Damage Control. Do you think, like a lot of failed Spider-Man movies, we might be getting too much stuff? Plus all the MJ stuff and Ned stuff too, not to mention. Yeah.
It definitely feels like it's overstuffed, but at this point, I trust Destin Daniel Cretton to get it right. Like Wonder Man is another thing I'm like, I don't think that's going to work. And then it's great. Or Shang-Chi was also great. So he clearly has a very clear focus on how to build out the characters, how to focus on theme, how to focus on emotion. So there can be a lot of elements in there around the corners of everything. But as long as it's focused on Spider-Man, that's the important thing. And I think they did a similar thing with No Way Home, where I also went out being like, too many elements, no way this is going to work. But it really was focused on Tom Holland's Spider-Man's journey, and then they did a nice job of balancing everything else. It's like almost like this magic trick of this shouldn't have worked. It's always teetering on the brink of collapse at all points, but then ultimately it did work. So I'm hopeful. I will also potentially be wrong when it comes out, but I'm hopeful they're going to pull it off.
Frankly, I still look at Captain America Civil War and go, that movie's a miracle. Like, it's built on the shoulders of other MCU movies. That's why it works, because you don't have to explain who Black Widow is, etc. But that is so loaded with people and stuff and storylines.
Spider-Man, they don't even bother. There's no previous mention of Spider-Man. They just go, I know a kid in Queens.
Well, and again, that's built on previous cinematic experience. But even then, to take all of that and hinge it on Bucky,
just
only Bucky,
from society.
Right?
Like, just people, they go, hey, this character's so well known that we don't even need to bother. And there have already been all of these other origin stories. The Sadie Sink thing, can I just ask, since we got some time here and we can ponder,
got a little bit of time, yeah.
Why are we so sure that she's not Felicia Hardy Black Cat? Because I feel like at this point in Spider-Man's life, this is where Black Cat should show up, right?
I agree.
Like, he's separated from MJ through circumstances that aren't really necessarily that they broke up or ended their relationship, but they're not in a relationship anymore. He's clearly very lonely, very depressed, very broke. This is the perfect time for Felicia Hardy to come into Peter Parker's life.
And could be teetering toward the dark side and tempted by her, she's a cat burglar and stuff.
I know I think we've heard some things like whoever Sadie Sink is playing, she's like on the run and the Punisher is trying to help her or something like that.
Yeah, it's a rumor, yeah.
Why are we so sure that she's going to be Jean Grey or she's going to be, some other character? Like, why wouldn't she be Black Cat?
Have you thought about the fact that she has red hair? Because
it's really that.
What are we going to do?
That also goes with the Typhoid Mary theory too. And the fact that she has red hair in the movie, it's not even like they tried to give her a wig. I thought they would go with the Black Cat because we've never had her, but I don't think they're doing it.
Unlike Felicia sitting at the board table in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but we didn't see her in the leather with the whip and the eyes and the furry boots and all of that. Like, I want true Black Cat.
Well, actually, if you want to see that, there are websites, I think, that have generated that content for you. Hey, we got some super chats to deal with real quick. Not deal with. We love super chats. They're not at all burdens. I phrased that wrong. This first one is from the Guild of Calamitous Intent. Gave us $5 and said the Guild would like to offer Tommy a position at any of their offices with the exception of New Jersey because they will have no offices in New Jersey.
I accept immediately.
Reference. There you go.
I immediately accept. Thank you very much.
Who are you going to arch, Tommy?
What's
I don't know
that?
if you know who are you going to arch? Who's going to be your arch?
Who will be my arch nemesis? Well, if New Jersey's off the table, I have to go find elsewhere. How about Ohio?
Hey, that's too much. That's too much. And DJ Siggy gave us another $5. Has a great question here. How do we feel about Laura Kinney as Wolverine for the MCU and Logan as Old Man Logan?
Love it.
I would like that better than Hugh Jackman just being Wolverine again, personally.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the perfect arrangement. Everybody loves Daphne Keane as Laura Kinney, X-23. It's something they did in the comics as well. They call them both Wolverine there, and it's fine, and everybody goes with it. So do the same thing here. Hugh Jackman has a lot of other stuff going on, and he doesn't have an unlimited, despite the joke in Deadpool and Wolverine, he doesn't have an unlimited amount of time to play Wolverine. So figure out a way to build up another character, in particular one that everybody already likes. Why not?
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could either be her or they could just do a younger Wolverine and that, like, Hugh Jackman is in this universe now as Old Man Logan, but there's also a younger version of Wolverine. And by younger, I mean he's still like 250 years old.
I mean, Deadpool 3 did it. The Cavalrine, it was perfect. And Deadpool even commented like, this just feels right. And
give us
does.
Short King some representation. Give us a short Wolverine for once. Give us a tiny
You can
one.
make anybody look short. They can make Tom Cruise look like he's 6 feet tall and as tall as Nicole Kidman in a movie. They can shorten down people. That would be fine. There's a few other things I want to get to about CinemaCon this week. I just want to mention before we get into some of these Marvel leaks, we are waiting on any news from the Disney panel, but nothing's quite coming yet. We've also keep those super chats going. And when Brendan Davis joins us later on, you can ask him questions directly via super chat as long as he has time. Apparently, Adria Arjona, who played Bix Colleen in Andor, was cast in Man of Tomorrow, originally reported as Maxima, who looks like that was a false report, and now we don't know who she's playing. But then Michael B. Jordan on stage at the Universal panel basically said, yeah, you're in a DC movie, and let that leak. So is she Wonder Woman? Or who else would she be?
Great casting if she is.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'll tell you what. There's a video footage of me interviewing her for an Andor press junket on another channel that you don't have to find. Where she comes, it was during COVID, so she comes on during Zoom, and I had never. Mm-hmm. She was very beautiful, and I don't mean this in any sort of like misogynistic way, but it like took me aback. So there's like a full 30 seconds where I'm just adjusting to like looking at this beautiful woman, trying to ask her. I'm like, so Star Wars good for you? Like
you turned into the Chris Farley show.
I did.
Your tongue is out of your mouth, and you're
I
just like,
she was like one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life, and it was like this. I mean, you guys are all beautiful as well, but it's one of my highlights as a journalist, I would say.
I mean, she would also, that aside, she's great in Andor, and she was
amazing. She was very charming in the interview too. She had a lot of great insight.
How do I put this in a kind way? I could not see Gal Gadot playing Bix Colleen as well as she did. That seems like a really nice way for me to gauge Gal Gadot's acting ability. I think she did a great job as Wonder Woman. I think there's actresses out there who will do a better job, and she's one of them.
Yeah, she's great. If whoever she's cast as is fine. I do wonder if like they're going to debut their new Wonder Woman in the next Superman movie in this way, versus her own project, since they are being so careful and deliberate about everything. And I don't know, I'm misremembering. There's been so much news, and maybe you guys know better, but I feel like James Gunn has talked about how like, yeah, they're working on Wonder Woman, but they're not there yet. So if the script is not there for Wonder Woman, I wonder if they would go ahead versus Maxima, a character who is in the comics and has popped up in the comics a lot, but I don't think the general public has any particular view of this is what Maxima needs to be.
I think, just to give you guys a little recap, Maxima is basically like, correct me if I'm wrong here, Alex, an empress on another planet. She wants Superman to be her mate. And if this is a cosmic movie with Brainiac and them going into space, it would make sense if Maxima was in it, especially maybe then we can get Jason Momoa returning as Lobo and, kind of integrate all the things that we're going to get from the Supergirl movie into this film. Originally, James Gunn announced that they were doing Paradise Lost, which is a Game of Thrones type series. That's a prequel, and it's an Amazonian civil war, which I always thought it would make sense to end that with the birth of Wonder Woman, right? But now you're right, he's given indications. It's like, yeah, Wonder Woman's actually stepping ahead, and it seems like moving further ahead than Paradise Lost. And maybe that's Warner Brothers being like, look, we know you want to do your expensive Game of Thrones series, but can we please make money on a Wonder Woman movie?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, at this point, I don't know. There's so much going on with Warner Brothers, with James Gunn, with DC Studios, and I appreciate from an artistic perspective their careful approach, but there's a level that behind Warner Brothers, they're like, we respect you, please move a little quicker through all of this.
Yeah, and Warner Brothers is notoriously the most stable studio in Hollywood. Everybody's always talking about how Warner Brothers is like this shining example on a hill of how to run a studio. So I'm sure there's nothing going on over there that would possibly make people panic.
Changes, yes.
Yeah, that they're making a Clayface movie before they're making The Flash or another Batman movie that connects to this universe. And speaking of which, there was a Clayface teaser shown, and the footage description is thusly. It was straightforward, open on Clayface, also known as Matt Hagen, played by Tom Rhys Harris, covered in face bandages, lying paralyzed in a hospital room, presumably after a horrifying accident. A slowed down zoom and eerie rendition of Do You Realize by the Flaming Lips, great song from a great album, plays as the camera zooms into Matt's face, and we're shown flashes of his life as an actor in a modernized, neon-lit Gotham City. Now, what I think is awesome about that, one, if it's drawing any inspiration from the Clayface episodes of the Batman the Animated Series, I'm in. It establishes it's Matt Hagen and not the earlier version of Clayface from the Golden Age. The fact that it's a neon-lit Gotham City, like, yeah, we're not going to get our DCU Batman for a while, but we are going to get Gotham City. What are your guys' thoughts on that Clayface teaser?
Neon, are we getting Joel Schumacher Gotham City? Please.
Could be.
Was there anything in the description about Clayface having nipples? Because I'd love to see nipples.
Or little ice skates.
Clayface can have nipples if you want him to have nipples. He can have as many nipples as you want, honestly. He's perfect.
That's also true.
If it's neon lit, maybe they're doing a little bit of a futuristic Gotham. Maybe we might be edging towards Batman Beyond at some point. That would be really cool.
Or just in terms of like the more comic booky approach that they're doing on this universe, where Superman's Metropolis is very stylized. It is very comic booky. The people dress like comic book characters, and maybe it's the same thing. I mean, maybe it's going to be, I don't know, less Frank Miller, more Neil Adams, if that makes sense.
I do wonder, and not that it actually matters that much because Gunn hasn't seemed too slavish to like keeping things actually consistent, but in Creature Commandos, when they have the cameo of Batman showing up in Gotham, it's pretty much straight up Batman the Animated Series, which isn't necessarily neon focused. So I don't know. It feels like they could go in a bunch of different directions. They could be like, "Oh yeah, that's our neon district. Now we're going to move over to our
1930s.
Now we're going to move over to our Glasgow district."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Batman Begins. The Batman, the new movies that Matt Reeves is doing, is it does feel like at every city in a lot of ways, like every grimy section of any city you've ever been to. That's where we're at. I was just going through, Brandon had texted me some of the stuff he saw when he saw the Supergirl footage. That's been online for a while. We don't have to dive too deep into that. Basically, they showed more Lobo. There was a bit more of her on the bus, a bit more of the aliens, a bit more of the visual effects. And we've seen enough Supergirl stuff at this point. I don't think we have to quite dive into it. Interestingly enough, oh no, they didn't show this. I'm sorry. We do have casting for Creature Commando season 2. Sydney Chandler's been cast as Nosferatu, which is pretty cool. We'll get some vampire stuff in that. I'm looking forward to that. That show is great. I mean, people really sleep on that, but it's so damn good.
I so enjoyed that first season of that show. It was really fun, and it was a great sample of what was to come from the James Gunn DCU. I thought it was
I'm excited about that Sydney Chandler casting. It's great to see her in something else. She was so good in Alien Earth. So excited to see her do
very
that.
Good.
Yeah.
It was only, and like James Gunn said, in animation, if somebody's cast, they can also play that character in live action, which is why people are kind of cast looking like their animated counterparts. We got a few more super chats I want to address right now. And remember, guys, the plan is, as we get reports on what they're talking about at the Disney panel, we will convey them to you. And a little bit later, we're going to have a firsthand account of anything that was shown. The Avengers Doomsday, what I'm hearing is going to be one of two things that Marvel does tonight. One, just the Russo brothers, kind of bare bones, showing off some stuff, right? Two, the other rumor was that they were going to have a massive red carpet. Might have some news right now. And do a big cast announcement with a lot of people there. I personally haven't heard anything about a big red carpet today. So
Chris Evans is there, though. Chris Evans is confirmed there.
Chris Evans is there?
Yeah, I just saw a picture of Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers, and Chris Evans.
Okay, well, you're more informed than I am. All right, so we do have an image from the screen of Dr. Doom. And it's pretty much the same one that we saw before, but I'll bring it up in just a second and show you guys. But first, as promised, let me address a couple of super chats here. Angel Man Freddy, longtime friend of the channel, gave us $10 and said, I work in the video games industry, and an artist friend of mine who has friends at Disney said that AI is taking over their pre-visual work. Super disappointing. Well, Mike, if that's true, you called it. I apologize.
I think it's unfortunate, but I think, it's kind of like resisting the internet. People have compared it to that. Like AI is going to come and insert itself into every industry, but particularly things that are computer generated or have to be done electronically. I mean, yeah, it's very easy for them to start using that to not completely eliminate, but greatly minimize their workforce.
Yeah, the problem is though, and I think because you're not for it necessarily, I'm sure you understand this, but like it can't innovate. Like it can't actually create anything new. And I understand from a bean counter perspective, oh, we already have enough pictures you've drawn of Iron Man. We can feed them into a machine and get more pictures of Iron Man. But you're not going to get those logical artistic leaps that happen when a human creates something.
Oh, I totally agree.
Iron Man, there were natural progressions in every movie that mirrored what Tony was going through. I mean, the nanotechnology wasn't just easier for Robert Downey Jr. than wearing a big bulky thing, but it also showed how the Iron Man suit and identity were becoming more and more a part of him, like the bleeding edge technology in the comics. Brought it up a little bit early, but there's the image of Dr. Doom. It's pretty much the same one we saw on the poster.
That Dr. Doom is the one on the right with the hat. Is that?
No. He's the
big ears. The one with the big ears.
Yeah,
that's Dr. Doom.
The big ears. Isn't it nuts though that Zootopia 2 is what 2 billion did that make? Like that's crazy.
Great movie.
And also just goes to show kids buy movie tickets.
Can I say one more thing about the AI thing? I think
please.
A thing that we all, and I don't know the answer to this, I'm posing this question to you three and the masses watching at home. Earlier, we were talking about what a shame it is how visual artists were so overworked and all of these like demands from the studios, ridiculous hours, very poor conditions, just so that they could churn out all of these projects that are very visual effects heavy that we as consumers absolutely love to go and see. Is it our demand for these types of movies, like particularly visual effects heavy movies, that creates the economic incentive for the studio to say, we need you to work 20 hours a day to get this done? And then when AI comes around, our appetite for this type of content has not diminished. If anything, it has increased. And we've gotten to the point where studios are unwilling to hire an adequate number of people that can do it in a humane way. And so instead, they are saying, well, if you're so upset about the working conditions, we'll just turn to an AI that doesn't require sleep or food or maternity leave or paternity leave or any human biological need that we need as human employees. So I don't know what the answer is. Is it on us for being too greedy and demanding too much of these studios? Is it on the studios for being too greedy about how much they get to recoup by minimizing their expenses and not hiring more people? Or is it the fault of the AI companies for even providing us with these tools in the first place? Is this a Pandora's box that should not have been opened?
I mean, money talks. If we stop going to think, if we all say that looks like shit, or if there's a press outcry about the visual effects look terrible. If the visual effects from AI look worse than Quantum Mania, that'll be that match.
They're going to look better, man.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt this discussion. Yes, you were going to bring up this slide, this upcoming slate. Is this AI? Is this real? Because are there movies right in the middle there? There's a movie called The Dog Stars and then Whale Fall and Wild Horse 9. Those are all real movies.
And first I thought it was Starship Troopers 3 and I got excited, but it's Super Troopers 3, which I think is, the comedy about the state patrolman.
Yes.
Super Troopers 2, Great movie.
That's being made by Disney now?
Well, that's technically, it was owned by Fox. Yeah, it was owned by Fox.
Yep.
Whale Fall.
We got some super chats to get to, guys, because the news is going to start pouring in. So let's go to these. We've got from Kevin Stein, gave us $5 and said, I've heard this theory before. What if Ned is Hobgoblin looking for Spider-Man because he's aware that he had a best friend, but he disappeared because of Spider-Man? If he's Hobgoblin, I think they'd go straight to Demogoblin for the reason Tommy said earlier. He's magic. He's got magic stuff. He can do magic. And Demogoblin is when Hobgoblin was essentially possessed by a demon. I'm simplifying, but I don't know. I think we've already seen one Spider best friend become a goblin in a franchise, two franchises, and it didn't go well either time. I don't think this is a third time's the charm kind of situation like with the Dark Phoenix saga.
I do want to see the Hobgoblin in live action, but I don't think we're going to get there. And again, because I don't think that MJ's new boyfriend is Harry Osborn, I don't think Oscorp exists in this universe. And how do you get gliders without Oscorp? I mean, even Hobgoblin got them from
There's
Oscorp, right?
literally no way they could, in this universe, they could possibly invent something that flies.
No one could possibly think of that.
I hope post MCU reset, Oscorp is in this universe. That's one thing I never liked about No Way Home, that they wasted Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin on nostalgia instead of just building them up in the MCU. What was Thou Yankee gave us $5 and said, I agree. Sadie Sink should play Black Cat with mutant bad luck powers. I think Black Cat should be in a movie. I don't know if it should be Sadie Sink, but if Colton were here, I can hear his voice saying Sydney Sweeney should play the Black Cat. So this one's for you, Colton.
She's already in the very popular and successful Madam Web movies that we know they're going to make 5, 6, 7 more Madam Web movies, and Sydney Sweeney's going to be in all of those. So.
And she actually researched Julia Carpenter comic books for that role and posted on Instagram, I'm in a Marvel movie.
Was this for 6, 7 or for Sydney Sweeney? What were you?
No, it was for 5, 6, 7. That's all. I'm not familiar with Sydney Sweeney. Is she a singer?
She right. You bought all of those bars of soap. You went to the hospital because you ate so many of them.
Oh, that's right. Oh, she has that soap that tastes so good.
That's right. Right. Okay. Before I can see where this is going
right now.
I remember that. The controversies we latch onto now. I liked it when our controversies mattered, when they were things like Greedo shooting first, like real important stuff to society. We've got Cam's VTS gave us $7 Canadian. Did Tommy unplug Colton's TV? Well, actually, I got Colton's TV right here, and he's missing, and we don't know where he is. He's at the hospital because his wife had a baby, and we're really happy for him. So it's the one time he's allowed out of the TV. Malik, friend of the channel, 6091, gave us $2 and said, biggest Marvel news y'all think we'll get tonight? That's a great question and relevant to the topic at hand. What do you guys think?
Biggest Marvel news we'll get tonight.
Yep.
I would really like Moon Knight season 2, but I don't know if they just announce any
TV. They won't announce any TV stuff.
No.
Oh right.
Yeah. Oh, because it's CinemaCon, right? Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we'll get any X-Men stuff. I think they'll save that for San Diego Comic-Con.
What if we got a Deadpool 3?
That would be great if they just announced Armor Wars but didn't bring him or tell him.
We're doing it. Don Cheadle's not here. We don't even have a logo yet, but I'm saying right now we're doing it.
We're going to call an audible, guys. We're making a War Machine movie next year. It's going to take place between the films.
What if they announced Deadpool 3 tonight? Like Deadpool Trinity.
Yeah.
Obviously they've made a Deadpool 3, but we all know
they need to call it Deadpool Trinity.
I'm just going to start calling it that until they do, because I'm very proud of
Blade
myself.
Trinity.
Yes, because Ryan Reynolds was the star of Blade Trinity, so it makes sense.
It depends on how far they want to go. I know some of the companies have been going a little far afield, but usually this is focused on like the next 12 months and then maybe a little bit beyond that. Yeah. So I feel like the biggest thing we get is that they would drop and then next year is Avengers Secret Wars Part 1. And then you're like, what? What's going on?
Again, this is 2026 and early 2027. So they are dipping into next year, but it seems like they're doing a calendar year, like April to April would be my guess. Yeah. I am just going to go with Doomsday Cast. I think that's probably what makes the most sense. They, of course, announced Chris Evans. There's rumors coming out that Chris Evans and Steve Rogers and Thor are the main characters of this movie, which tracks from the teasers that we've seen. I think we're going to get people on stage. I mean, if not here, I think there's a D23 later this summer. Then we'll definitely get the cast announcement then. But I think the trailer is going to give us, nothing else, we will hear Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. I think that's definitely going to happen.
I think you're right on the money with the cast in particular, because you need to remember this isn't so much for press and it isn't so much for us at home as it is for cinema people. And they want to know they've got a sure thing. They're also coming second in the week after Dune Part 3, which everything I read, that footage apparently was stunning, I heard. So if theater owners saw this Dune Part 3 stuff and they're like, that's amazing, I can't wait to book that in all of my theaters, Doomsday coming second, they have to have the last word on that. They have to be like, this is why this is even bigger, and you need to book even more screens for our movie than the other movie that's coming out the same day. And the thing that's going to do that, I don't know if they're going to go this far, but the thing that would do that is like, we got Chris Evans, we got Chris Hemsworth, guess what? Also, Scarlett Johansson is back, and we've got the rest of the original Avengers all in the same place at the same time. That's going to be like case closed, essentially.
I'll one up you there.
Same day?
Doom Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday, are the same day.
think that they're going to announce
like a Barbenheimer, but with Dune and Doomsday. So Doomsday.
That's what they're calling it. Yeah. I think they will announce they're moving it up a week. That's personally, I think they want the IMAX screens. And speaking as somebody who has some pretty big, important big, important holiday stuff planned, I really hope they do that. Like, I don't know if I have any sway whatsoever, but that would really personally mean a lot to me if they could just make that happen. That would be great.
That makes a lot of sense. Isn't there, I haven't looked at the IMAX schedule recently, but I think there is like a gap there for a week, right? So they could do like, surprise, we're doing week-long previews of Avengers Doomsday before it officially opens or something.
Which they did for Infinity War.
Yeah.
Oh, get this. Okay, we have some news. The Mandalorian and Grogu have their panel right now. It includes...
It's off. It's canceled.
It's done. They're going to turn it back into a TV show like they should have from the
beginning.
It's
just the Mandalorian. They're killing Grogu. He's dead.
Okay. A big criticism. He dies in the first 5 minutes. It's like the opening to Scream. It's incredible. The Mandalorian and Grogu includes over 40 minutes of expanded aspect ratio sequences, which is very cool because one complaint from the trailers is, oh, it just looks like the TV show. And the new trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu will release today online, which is really cool. We'll try to pull that up for us to watch later on.
That doesn't bode well for a Doomsday trailer, does it, then? If they're
we were never going to get a Doomsday trailer today online. I doubt it. We do got some more super chats I have to get through, though, guys, just because I don't want these to stack up. It's not fair to the people who have been generous and given us money. Pac Mac gave us $2 and said, Spaceballs, the super chat, if you can read this. Very excited for Spaceballs 2. Seems like they're going to be, even though they're not calling it the search for more money. Mel Brooks explained why. Sean Holtgrave gave us $10 and said, love what you guys do. Doug deserves a treat with my name on it. We'll give it to him later on. Thank you so much. And Malik gave us another $5. Thank you. Unrelated, but nearly finishing season 1 of The Punisher. And I must say, peak favorite of all the Netflix Marvel stuff. Wait till you get to season 2. It's even better. Very good. And Brady Thomas gave us 50 American dollars. That is incredibly generous. Thank you so much. Says, Tommy, you are the best hot air balloon operator we've ever seen. I hope that's not a euphemism for something really bad and dirty that I didn't know about.
It's not, Ryan. It's a reference to my starring turn on Abbott Elementary season 1.
I've never seen it. Oh, my God. I got to watch that show now. Ryan, I hope you have one blue shirt for every day of the week. No comment. And tell Doug he's a good boy. You guys are great, but Tommy is the best, as previously stated. Mike, Alex, I hope you guys feel like shit.
I've accepted that Tommy's the greatest. I'm at peace with
listen,
it.
people just
therapy, but I got there.
People feel bad for me. It's okay. They try to make me feel better. I appreciate it.
All right. I am getting ready to download the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer as we talk about some more of these super chats. $20 from Christian Ford said, my bad, I'm very late to the party. I missed anything. We were late to the party. We talked for 10 minutes and didn't know that we weren't live. Again, you would think we'd figure this kind of thing out. So you basically missed a lot of people in the live chat going, when's it going to start? ScreenCrush is messing this up again. At least I think that's what you were saying. That's what I imagine in my nightmares. And Christian Ford gave us another $10 and said, if we're talking new releases, have y'all seen the new Insidious trailer? I'm pumped. I don't know the franchise. Have you guys seen it?
Nope. I mean, I've heard of it, obviously, but I'm not a big horror guy. I think we got to ask Brianna for that, right?
I watched the first 2 Insidiouses. And I didn't love them, to be honest. Like Patrick Wilson was in it. He's great. But I don't know. The mythology was a little weird. That said, everything that I read about this last one, I should have watched the trailer before we got on. But apparently it's just like nonstop jump scares, which I feel like at a certain point maybe gets tiring, but maybe not. Maybe it'll be great.
So sorry, we have no good news for you, the super chat, regarding us seeing Insidious. YouTube Sucks Bad gave us, a friend of the channel, gave us $5 and said 6-7. And I should also note that his icon is Clippy, the Microsoft Word little guy, the original AI that's trying to take our jobs.
It looks like you're using an out-of-date meme. Want some help with that?
I thought
And
Clippy
Legend
was
of-
executed. I thought, didn't they put him to death?
Publicly?
Yeah.
I gotta find. That's an AI
I
video.
mean, after the
watched.
trial ended, I assumed he was going to be put to death immediately. But I don't
After what he
know.
did, right?
Yeah, right.
No,
After-
I thought he has the appeals process first. No, Or was
Clippy
it
did
straight to
nothing
death?
wrong. Okay, I'm gonna say it. I'm not afraid to say it.
Wow.
I'm gonna say it here publicly. Yeah, that's right. I'm a Clippy supporter. Okay.
Wow.
I don't know, Mike. There were children. There were children in that hospital, and you're just going to
You know
say
what?
that Clippy did nothing
Jesus,
wrong?
what-
That's disgusting.
What are we saying that Clippy did?
He killed younglings.
All right. And now that we've given voice to Clippy's sin, let's move on to Legend of Seg, who gave us $5 and said it's on the AI companies as it barely has any meaningful restrictions, just like the internet when it first dropped, which is true.
Yeah.
And that led to the internet growing in ways where had it been regulated, it wouldn't have. I do think about newspapers who were giving their articles away for free on the internet to start and how much they now wish they would have always charged for it and set that precedent. But we'll see. Christian Ford gave us another $5 and said, I'd make a deal with Mephisto to get a season 2 of Moon Knight. Could we get a Ghost Rider before Secret Wars or possibly only in Secret Wars? Maybe Nick Cage Ghost Rider and
Oh,
then a
did you
Ghost
say
Rider
Ghost
after?
Rider? I thought you meant.
Yeah.
I thought you said Ghost Rider. Like, can we get a Ghost Rider to write the second season of Moon Knight?
Just AI. Just have AI write it. I think we'll get a Ghost Rider movie. I mean, they're courting Ryan Gosling. I don't think they're rushing it. I think it'll be post Secret Wars, though. What do you guys think?
I think you're right about Nicolas Cage in Secret Wars. I mean, if it really is we're bringing everybody back all at the same time, why not? You know, throw him in there. In terms of like Ghost Rider, anything, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a while. That's like, they had the 2 pretty bad movies, and I don't know. And then he was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well. Right. So when you're looking at a use case of like, how much money are we going to get back on a Ghost Rider movie? The answer is probably not that much. But if they do pivot, which I always hope they do, but I really hope they do after Secret Wars, to doing like big budget movies, but also maybe some smaller movies as well. Like do a $30 million Ghost Rider movie.
I mean, Blade. Yeah, I mean, 100%.
Exactly.
And you don't all have to end everything with the giant dragon. If you have a movie about a Kung Fu master, just have it be about Kung Fu. And you know what? Oddly enough, I've never seen Ghost Rider, the Nicolas Cage movies, but I'm going to watch them live here on the channel with all of you guys who are members. So we're doing this new thing with ScreenCrush memberships. I want to bring up really quick. We've had the first tier for a long time, store members, emojis, badges, priority comments. We've just opened up 2 more tiers with the 3rd one on the way. So a staff tier at $4.99, you get everything in tier 1, plus you get exclusive videos, Doug Explains, Canon Short Films. We're going to have our live shows, which you can watch that we recorded on our tour. Also, this is what I'm most excited about. We're going to do watch parties. We can't stream the movies on YouTube, but we can leave a time code at the bottom. You can watch along with us. Sometimes with me watching movies for the first time, like I've never seen Elektra, and I'd like to watch that with you guys. You also get early access to some of our videos, plus a 15% merch discount. And if you want to be a store owner for $100, you get everything in these other 2 tiers, plus your name and videos and descriptions, and a private Q&A live stream. Again, that 15% merch discount does not stack like if we have a 30%, but it's like all year round. You just get a code, you keep using it and give it to your friends. We don't care. It's a great deal. So it also helps out the channel, and you can become a member by clicking below. So Mandalorian and Grogu, we got a couple other pieces of news before we move on. The opening sequence of The Mandalorian and Grogu is being shown at Cinemacon right now, and the film begins with a few sentences explaining the era the film is set within. Makes a lot of sense.
Do we get a text scroll? Is it like that kind of?
Maybe like Ahsoka. Like I thought that was really cool. It's like my favorite part of the show, the badass scroll they had at the beginning. Well, I mean, you're talking about bringing people into the cinema to see Star Wars again. I think they need like some kind of crawl. Makes sense. Not everybody has
We
Disney
get one
Plus.
in Rogue One, and Rogue One was awesome. People loved that.
I kind of feel like, I miss the fanfare. I've been listening to a lot of Star Wars soundtracks lately, and I really miss a Star Wars movie, like opening like a Star Wars movie.
Hey, Ryan.
You guys want to watch this trailer?
I was just going to say, yes, that's what I was going to say. The trailer's out. I was going to say, can we...
Yeah, let's check it out. I got it loaded up right here. Give me just a second to actually upload it. Again, I would be really surprised if we got a Doomsday trailer today, like released online, but you never know. You never know. All right.
I'm just excited to watch Grogu die.
right off the
All right,
bat.
guys.
It starts with Grogu with a hole blown in his head.
It's just-
falls
oh.
over.
Yeah, there's a line of red on his neck. His head slides off.
Give me just a second. I accidentally downloaded audio instead of video, so it's re-downloading right
I
now.
accidentally downloaded the wrong trailer, guys.
But you know the thing,
Music. Wow, 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 wow.
we just watched Crush Groove 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I think
Not
it's,
the name of that.
you downloaded The Mandalorian and Blow Grew, right? That's the one you. It's a different movie.
That's the dildo.
All
movie.
right.
It's very good, though. It's really good.
Tasteful, I've always thought. The
Great
AI
aspect
sequences in
ratios.
particular are just incredible.
But he takes
right.
off his mask too much. Oh, sorry.
Here we go.
We've all heard stories of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
Before going into harm's way, check your armor first.
We're protecting everything the rebellion fought for.
Good luck.
Here's that.
You're gonna need it.
Oh, the horrible baby. It's a bad baby.
Strap in.
Because, you know, the hugging. Remember in the hugging in season 3, he hugged him too hard?
We need a professional.
Hang on.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
You good? I'll be right behind you. Go. Go.
Mandalorian, you will suffer. Then it will be his turn.
Monsters. The old protect the young. And then the young. Protect the old.
Yes.
It's time.
Are you scared? You should be.
Good job, baby.
This is the way.
That's what they should have put out. That's the trailer. That was great. That's
Where are the
everything I
horses?
want.
Where are the horses we saw in the Super Bowl? They
Yeah,
weren't
where are
anywhere
the
in that trailer,
Clydesdales?
Ryan.
No, that was the shit. That 100%. It's explaining how it relates to the rebellion. You get a little bit of the Imperial March in there. You get a sense of the plot, the scale. It looks way better. They're not riding on individual like visuals that look like they're from Disney Plus. It got me in the heartstrings. The part where Den said, "You teach the young and the young teach the old," actually really got to me because I'm in my mid 40s and that kind of thing resonates with me right now. No notes. I loved it. And especially the part where Grogu tries to hug the Anzellans. It's the only part of The Rise of Skywalker where I'm like, it's not all bad because we got Babu Frick. What did you guys think of that?
That's a bad baby.
Yeah.
I will,
Maybe something
all
like
sincerity, I am a total sucker for weird little guys in Star Wars that has a lot of weird little guys, so I'm all in. The other thing, was that a quick shot of Sigourney Weaver in a X-Wing jumpsuit coming out?
It was, yeah. I
Right.
wonder if that's a flashback.
Let's
that
let's do it. Sign me up.
Yeah, let's go. That's what I
like
need. That's what we needed the whole time. It's so good. I want to break
I like
that trailer
Grogu.
down, but do I have time?
Walking up on those Babu Frick dudes and just like, mean mugging them. He's finally bigger than somebody. He's just like bullying them and pushing them around. Did I spot some like Clone Wars era stuff in there? I feel like the
Let's bring it
like
up.
AT, whatever it was, the thing that he's running on, that's like an earlier model
It is.
AT-ST.
Yes,
Or AT-AT,
from the Clone
whichever
Wars.
one.
Those were
Yeah,
in
that's like Clone
Revenge of the
Wars
Sith and
era.
the Battle of Kashyyyk.
So he's finding some really vintage stuff on wherever they find themselves there. I feel like that's maybe around the same time as when we saw him fighting
Right
those droids. What kind of droids were those? Those
And
look
this,
like
by
maybe
the-
like battle droids that have been messed with.
Yeah, and that they were in a previous trailer as well, which makes sense. It's the reason Den hates droids, because they killed his whole family. This is a great part of the trailer. Listen to this real quick. Okay.
Not there to pretend.
I don't know why it's freezing. Hang on here. All right, here we go.
When you're not.
All right, not sure what's going on. Is it freezing on your guys' end too?
Yeah.
All right, sorry about that. Basically, this is when she says, let's try it one more time.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
Boom! Good? And you see what happens. The ATSTs take it out. I forget this guy's name, but he's a Star Wars character who's appeared before, which is pretty exciting.
That sneeze right there, that's how Grogu dies. You think it's going to be something violent? It's tuberculosis. There's a beginning. He coughs into a handkerchief. There's blood. Obviously, going to die.
I'm sorry, Mike. He actually has COVID-19. It's terrible.
He's going to die like Doc Holliday all through the movie. That's his role to the Mandalorian's Wyatt Earp. This is freezing on me. I'm not sure why. I'm going to take it off screen real quick. But that was, yeah, guys. I am excited to see this movie now. It's the first time Star Wars is going back to theaters since The Rise of Skywalker. It needs to feel big and feel like an event, and I think this is doing it. I'm really excited about that. Let me see here. Got a couple other super chats I want to get to real quick. Now, this one I'm ill-equipped to talk about. I'm hoping you guys can help me out. I am not caught up on Invincible, so potential spoilers for that show. Brady Thomas gave us $20 and said, Invincible related, how can the Viltrumites and Mark and his crew all hear each other and hear what they're thinking in space? Alan said in season 1, you need an implant to have that ability. I would assume the Viltrumites also have that ability, but what do you guys think?
Are they telepathic with each other like that?
Viltrumites are?
I think so. I don't know. I've not read the Invincible comics. I've seen the show and I'm up to date on the episodes, but I assumed that they were communicating with each other telepathically.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought it was as well. I mean, I've read every issue of the comic and seen every issue of the TV show, and there's a couple of things that are like a little wobbly sometimes, sort of hand wavy. Don't worry about it. And I think you're right. Like, we could just kind of assume that they got those implants at some point because they do fly through space all the time. So same way, they can talk the same way everybody else can. That's
forgive me for not having read those comics, but I did read every single issue of The Walking Dead, and with how that went, I was like, Kirkman, I'll wait for the shows. Thanks, man.
I highly recommend, if anybody is curious, if they've been watching the show, I mean, you kind of know how it's going to go already, but read the first 13 issues of the comic, which are great. After that, it sort of plateaus. There's good stuff. There's okay stuff. But the first 13 issues, which are usually collected in like the first 2 trades or something, are excellent.
That's all I've read, and I agree. I've only read those first 2 trades in there.
All right, I will pick those up and check them out. When we got to the end of the Walking Dead comics run, and I was like, wow, this issue is like 15 pages longer than normal. That's odd. And then you get to the end, and it's just like, so this is the end.
I was talking about that with somebody just the other day, though. What a wild swerve that I've never experienced anybody put
out of nowhere. He's just like, yeah, we're going to do a 10-year flash forward. I'm going to put a little letter at the end of it and everyone will be fine.
For people who don't know, who are watching right now, it was a surprise. He didn't tell anybody it was the last issue of The Walking Dead until it was in stores. It was
out.
Nuts. My jaw dropped.
I didn't know that.
It was crazy.
I was in law school at the time, and I used to buy the issues on like a PDF every time that they came out. I just download it and buy the PDF, and I downloaded that one. And I was like, file's a little bit larger than normally is. Then you open it up, and it's like the size of 3 issues and a big letter at the end from Robert Kirkman that's just like, I'm on to bigger and better things, baby. I got TV shows. I got other comic books. I'm doing things.
Yeah, I respect that, though. I respect him just being like, you know what, I'm done. I'm good.
Salty, but I get it, you know.
Got a little bit of news here. I am a disappointed person. It turns out that Disney is not going to move. They have announced they will not move the date for Avengers Doomsday. So it's on, baby. Doom versus Doomsday. Doomsday is happening. I don't know why. Maybe they can't get the AI lined up enough to quick enough to do the visual effects. Who can say? But that is according to Marvel updates on Twitter. That's the latest. We got a lot of people who are either getting memberships right now or gifting memberships. Thank you guys so much. We have one member who said, hear me out. Daredevil wears Prada.
Oh.
Yes.
They should
just makes
put an
sense.
episode of Daredevil in theaters as a double feature with Devil Wears Prada. That's if they had any balls at all.
No notes.
I just want to see Matt Murdock working in the fashion industry, and they're like, "How is this guy so good? He's blind. Like, how does he know? How does he know that this looks great?"
Well, he has a connection to the fashion industry. The guy who designed his suit and all the other super suits from She-Hulk. You know, when Melvin, I guess Melvin does the practical stuff, the fabric, like the armor, and then they hand it to that other guy from She-Hulk to make them look nice.
The Daredevil wears Melvin. That's it doesn't work. Never mind.
Not as well, but you're working on it.
I'm workshopping.
Was Melvin the guy's name?
I think so.
Mike, I stepped on your joke. I'm sorry. That was an excellent joke.
It's fine.
That was truly good. Thank you so much for that. Kent Pool Collects gave us $5 and said Tommy versus Ohio. Let's effing go. I don't know how to take
Tommy
that.
all day. Money on Tommy all day long. What is Ohio?
I don't know, man. The great Buckeye State arises to meet your challenge, sir.
I'll be in Cleveland on May 3rd, and I tell you what, I expect to be met with hugs and cash.
Well, I'm from Southern Ohio, where they don't really register Northern Ohio as part. It is a symbol of the country itself. It is a state divided. If I
go to Southern Ohio, I expect to be met with spaghetti with chili on top of it for some reason, which I just simply don't.
And also sugar in the spaghetti. I don't know why they do it. It's delicious, but I'm telling you, man, if you haven't been to Skyline and you have a chance to, you're missing out. It is the culmination of German culture. Skyline chili. All right. And a couple more super chats to get through before we talk about more Marvel news that's come out. Dog Stars. Shockler gave us $2 and said, Dog Stars. Whalefall trailers. I saw Wild Horse 9 in that thing that we had brought up a second ago.
Those do sound made up.
I didn't see 1 through 8.
I didn't see Wild Horse 7 and 8. I didn't see Wild Horse 5 and 6, but I was able to follow 7 and 8. So I'm not sure if it's a linear timeline or if they kind of did a soft reboot along the way so we could all jump on. Like
I haven't looked it up, but I have to imagine Whalefall is basically like Armageddon, but with a whale, right?
Yes, it's a whale is careening towards Earth at a rapid pace.
But they're all whales.
And I think the most eloquent point that has not yet been made is that Dog Star is clearly a sequel to Rock Dog, right? That animated movie where the dog played the electric guitar as a busker. I think Owen Wilson was the voice of Rock Dog, if I'm not mistaken. You guys remember that one? You guys didn't cover that for ScreenCrush? Oh,
no. We were busy covering random ass Bad Batch episodes when that was out. That was us.
I remember ripping off those videos.
Hey, man. Oh, I remember watching your videos and going, I missed that. There's always in there. I rarely watch videos from other channels just because it can only ever depress me. Like it's never fun for me to look at other people's videos and realize how good everyone else is at their job. Like for instance, thank you. We're covering the mall show right now. And I watched some of Star Wars Explained. They didn't really do a full recap. They more did a review with like pointing some things out. And I was like, man, I'm missing so much obvious stuff in this, or like we under-researched. Like, I don't know if you guys watched our stream the other day, but we had Nicholas Michaud on, and he pointed out all the symbolism of pineapple juice in the last Daredevil episode. Blew our minds. Basically, how pineapple is a Christian symbol. We're talking about our next video and on socials and stuff, but there's just some great, smart people out there. We will never be as good at this as the entire internet is. And speaking of the entire internet, I got another super chat here for us. Lots of people, like I said, are gifting new ScreenCrush membership tiers, which is really fun. If you guys can join, we appreciate it. Christian Ford gave us another $5 and said, Darth Maul, will he have any ties to this? Like he is running the Hutts or got ties to a criminal world at this point? He died. He died just before the Battle of Yavin. Which is unfortunate because George Lucas's original plan was for him to be the villain of episodes 7, 8, and 9. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just saying, it is unfortunate that he's like actually dead this time. But, who knows? When they teased
the Night Sisters bring people back. He could come back.
Yeah, I mean, but they've done that already before. They gave him spider legs, how many times can they bring him back? When they teased him at the end of Solo, I was like, great, awesome. Yes, just give us a Maul standalone movie. Like this Maul show on Disney Plus is great, but give us just a standalone live action Darth Maul movie. I think everybody would go see that.
But for some reason, Disney doesn't want to make things people will go see. I don't understand the logic here. They give us things
Talking
like
about they're
Solo.
making Whale
You're right. I meant in the Star Wars universe is specifically what I was talking about.
Whale fall. I'm just thinking it's like Skyfall. I can't get it out of my head. It's the opening music from Skyfall, but it's just whale noises.
I'm looking up what this movie is.
Yeah, please do at this point. And we can bring this up again real quick. Let me see if I can find. Okay, I'm having problems. I think my laptop is throttling down, so I'm getting a little bit of a lag when it comes to uploading footage.
It's the first in a 4-part movie series. There's Whale Fall, Whale Winter, Whale Spring, and then Whale Summer.
The Star
2049. Whale Summer, but we got to earn it.
The Star 2049 has told us that he is from Ohio and their derision is deserved. Dish it out, Tommy. Well, you're a traitor. You're a traitor to the Buckeye State, sir.
I want to run an exercise here. I've now looked up the synopsis for Whale Fall, and I want to give you guys 1,000 guesses for what this movie is about.
Okay. All right. Hit me.
Ryan, I'll just read it aloud. Whale Fall follows a scuba diver who, while looking for his father's remains, is swallowed by an 80-foot, 60-ton sperm whale and has just 1 hour to get out before his oxygen runs out. Starring Josh Brolin as Thanos. No, it's not.
As the whale.
Am I supposed to guess if that's real?
That's real. No, that's the synopsis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I didn't play the game. I just told you because I don't know.
Does he have?
Yeah, I'm confused. I was completely confused by the game.
In the belly of the whale.
I mean, like, when you heard Whale Fall was the title of the movie, were you like, oh, this is the story of a man who gets swallowed by a sperm whale and has 1 hour to get out? I thought it was going to be like about whale poachers. Like my guess was like it was about like anti-whaling boats or something like that.
So is the title that he fell into a whale? So
I'm guessing
whale fell?
Whale fall.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
listen, I guess they're kind of down on sets. It mostly
films,
takes place in a whale.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any notes at this point, but I guess you could just crawl out the whale's butt or the blowhole or something like that, right? The whale.
Well, we can only hope that that's how this comes to a natural conclusion, or if
does
it's
he
a male
also
whale
at
out
any
the
point,
front of his genitalia? That's all.
Does he start turning into a donkey, or is he like smoking cigars and playing billiards when he should be in school?
Do they turn him into glue?
Is there a little cricket with him?
Wait, I am seeing something now. Wow, this is absolutely crazy. Daniel Day-Lewis is playing a character named JC, which I think stands for Jiminy Cricket, but could be Jesus Christ, I guess.
Could be Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Wow.
Damn, I wanted Daniel Day-Lewis.
Wow, this cast is awesome. Josh Brolin, Elizabeth Shue, Jane Levy from the Evil Dead remake, and what was the other thing she was in? Suburgatory, that TV show. She was great.
Mm-hmm.
And
how's there a big cast? Are they all in the whale? Does he get in there and they're
it's
just
like James
hey,
and the Giant
whale.
Peach. There's a bunch of singing insects inside the whale.
You can mark out some space over there by the uvula if you want. Yeah. We haven't taken that yet.
I live by the pancreas.
Don't tickle the side though, because our entire society will destruct if he sneezes, and then we all have to be ejected and go into the outside world.
As much ambergris as you want, just perks.
Oh man, I'm excited for Whale Fall. I can't wait to cover it on.
Yeah, there's an old dude who keeps trying to hunt us, and he gets really angry every time we get away. But
this is what everybody tuned in for, right?
Yeah. We all everybody. The thumbnail says every reveal, and they tune in and they hear us talking about Josh Brolin and like Swiss Family Robinson, but in a whale. Yeah. Which, by the way, not a bad pitch. I'm telling you, kids, this picture's gonna make $1 million. Josh Brolin and family, but they're in a whale. It's Swiss Family Robinson, but in a giant mammal. We can't lose.
I'll say it.
I definitely would too.
I'm in.
All right, this whole laptop situation, guys. It's doing this thing lately. It throttles down because of the kerneling. It thinks that it's overheating when it's not. It's a whole shebang I got going on. So I'm having to work off this computer that's in front of me. Everything's frozen. So I'm sorry for the little distractions I've had there for a second. Let's go to some other Marvel news from this week. Now, we're going to get to some of the things that aren't quite news. They're leaks. They're other things that have kind of come out. So Alex Perez. Do you guys know Alex Perez?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Personally, I've never met the guy.
No, I just read his article. I read his mailbags.
Yeah, he's sleeping on my couch right now, actually, over there.
Alex,
shit.
get
Tell
out
him I
here.
said hi.
Come on.
Yeah, there he goes. Hello. Alex Perez is one of my favorite reporters. His leaks tend to be very accurate. And I'm not a person, we don't normally talk about leaks if they're very spoiler heavy, but there's a few he's come out with that I think are just fun to theorize about. So one thing that he talked about is somebody asked him, I think we have a visual of it here, just a second. He said that Monica Rambeau is going to play a key role in Avengers Doomsday. Somebody asked, hey, Alex, is Monica Rambeau still going to be in this thing? And he said, yes, she is going to mediate between the Avengers and the X-Men. What are our thoughts on that? Sorry, Mike, I tuned back in when you were away, right?
Oh, no, I was just grabbing some water. I think that makes perfect sense, right? We don't know how much time has passed since she's been in the X-Men universe, right? But I'm assuming that however much time has passed, she's explained to them where she's from. She's explained that Binary is her mom in this other universe. So like they immediately have this connection and gives it a little bit something more than her just being a stranger from another world. Like the fact that she has that connection with, I don't know if we've determined that that is her mom or if it's a variant of somebody else or like what the deal is, or if Monica herself also exists in this other universe, but it's a little bit more than if she was just a stranger that popped in. So they might be willing to listen to her, even though she's from this other universe. And that kind of makes sense why she can be the bridge between the two that allows cooler heads to prevail.
I could see a classic comic book, the two teams fight until she comes in and is like, whoa, 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 calm down. Let me explain what's going on.
Yeah.
And then
I don't think Monica would exist in this universe because if Marie became Captain Marvel, she would have gone to space and not met Monica's dad. So it probably is. And it's a shame. I don't think the Marvels is, I think it gets way too much hate. I think it's pretty mid in places. It is going to be a lot of, it's one of these things I'm worried about with Doomsday. There's this heavy lifting involved of like, most of the audience going, wait, Tiana Paris from Mad Men? She's in this? Like, wait, who is she again? I don't have Disney Plus. Like what? And I didn't see the Marvels. Who is this? So how do you guys think they could go through and explain who the character is while she's also trying to be like, I'm from your world, see? And this is all just a big misunderstanding.
if she talks like an old-timey newsboy, I mean, that covers most of it, honestly.
Yeah, I think
they have to assume that the audience has seen the Marvels. Otherwise, like, it's too much to explain that there's this other universe that has the X-Men, but they're not our X-Men that we're used to from the old Fox universe, but they also are. Like, I feel like it would be too much, and I think they just have to take the conceit of like we were saying earlier, although this is nowhere near the same degree, what they did in Civil War, where they were just like, and we're going to go grab Spider-Man from Queens with no explanation of who Spider-Man is or why, they're going to do the same. They're going to be like, and Monica's in cut to the X-Men universe, and it's just at the bottom of the screen. It'd be like Earth 8, whatever it is.
Right. Well, it could be like Leia and the Ewoks, you know, like there was this, like when Leia sees them, like Ewoks about to eat her friends, which we don't talk about enough, that the Ewoks were going to eat the flesh of Han Solo. We kind of glossed over all that. But when she sees that, she's like, oh, wait, no, I know all these people. So is there somebody in this movie who knows Monica? They haven't confirmed Brie Larson or Aman Vellani, and we're kind of running out of people who know who she is, like Nick Fury, Jimmy Woo.
Give us Jimmy Woo, Randall Park.
You think Jimmy Woo is going to be there? Do you think
Sure.
Wanda probably won't. We'll talk about Wanda in a second.
Doesn't Nick Fury know who she is?
Yeah, but will Nick Fury be there? Because you need someone to go, Monica? Nick, wait, hold on, everybody. You know, like, what master do you serve? That whole scene.
Sorry, I just keep laughing about the idea of the X-Men about to eat like Sam Wilson before Monica comes in. He's like, oh, hold on. Let me explain.
Wait!
Whoa.
Why is Sam Wilson... Oh, no, I was going to say, why is Sam Wilson the Ewok? But he's Han Solo in your scenario.
Yeah, he's Han
and
Solo
the X-Men are the Ewoks. Yeah, of course. Of course.
Can I break a little news here?
Oh, God, please. What do you got?
The Dog Stars is a post-apocalyptic world and a virus has wiped out humanity, and it is also starring Josh Brolin. He is in all of these movies.
You're kidding me.
Everything in the center slate.
And he's in Dune.
Some
and he might be in
Doomsday. And Margaret Qualley is also are also in this movie. But Josh Brolin is first billed in both of these movies, and I I'm starting to wonder if that, like, if this is a simulation and I'm in the Brolin.
Is he also in Wild Horse 9 or whatever?
I have to do my due
Okay.
diligence and look that up right now. I'm so sorry. If he is, I'm leaving.
We do have some Toy Story news I want to share with you guys. Unfortunately, for the moment, I can't bring any visuals up. Sorry about that. Here's a couple things. So Tim Allen's there, and I'm not sure if Tom Hanks is, but Tim Allen recalls one kid's reaction to their parents saying that he is Buzz Lightyear. He said, "That ugly man ate Buzz Lightyear." Hilarious. Fun, folksy Tim Allen stuff, right?
Yes.
Then this is, I don't know if this is from footage that they're showing. It must be, or just visuals. Woody is revealed to have a beer belly alongside a balding head in Toy Story 5. So they are showing clips there. Now, as far as it being a beer belly, I think it would make sense if, like, you know, those kind of toys like Woody, they do like kind of settle over time.
Yeah.
However, yeah, he's been around since the 50s. I think that would have happened already, but maybe he's not being cared for like he was. And then they've already released the clip of his little yarmulke like I got. That's just like his hair rubbing away. So we got to get a middle-aged toy now. Like, are these films now for people who are, like, grew up with them 30 years ago? So they are for middle-aged people. Should this franchise, I mean, Toy Story 4 is really good.
Right.
Should have ended at 3. Tarantino did this great rant about, I won't say them, they could be great, but it ended with 3. I don't know. What do you guys think?
When are they going to have
sucks.
When are they going to have the guts to make this movie rated R for us for once? Like, when is it?
Exactly.
When's enough's going to be enough?
You want an adult Toy Story?
Yes, I want a man's story.
It's set in the back room of a Spencer's. It's just
no. I'm with you, Ryan. I think Toy Story 3 wrapped it up.
Back room of a Spencer's.
Yeah, I like it.
Do those even exist anymore? I don't even think.
Yes, they do.
A Spencer's or the back rooms in them? Because that's really.
I don't. Do malls exist anymore? I don't know.
There's an empty mall, but
just
you
the
can always
Darth
find
Mall
the back
where
of
the
Spencer's.
Sith buys their clothes. Yeah, exactly.
I think Toy Story actually ended perfectly at the end of Toy Story 2, and I thought Toy Story 3 was unnecessary, but also had a beautiful ending. And then I thought Toy Story 4 was just fine, but it needed to end at 3. So my excitement for Toy Story 5 is how the excitement for most of these movies that feel tacked on to me, which is I will take my nieces and nephews, and they will laugh and have a great time, and their enjoyment will be my enjoyment. And I'm sure there will be a lot of funny moments, and the voice actors are wonderful in Pixar movies, and I'll enjoy that as well. But I don't need it to move me the way that the first 3 did. The first 3 were like really moving, foundational movie-going experiences for me, and I no longer require that from the Toy Story franchise. Just glad everyone's alive and getting a paycheck.
Damn,
why can't we get a Bug's Life
said.
2? That's what I want. Why can't we get a Bug's Life 2? The message is perfect for the times. We need another Bug's Life story. About
you mean like the rich
masses.
stealing from the poor?
Yes, yeah.
And can they bring back the same villain? Who's the voice actor again? I'm forgetting.
I think it was.
Oh
James
no, yeah.
Woods.
No, it wasn't actually. I think it was Kevin Spacey. Yes. And Kevin
Spacey? Oh, Jesus.
Storied film career. I'll be honest, guys. I don't pay a lot of attention to like pop culture and entertainment news. I'm a little out of touch, but man, from what I can remember, I mean, he's just one of the all-time greats. I haven't heard anything of him in a long time, though.
Well, like, Ryan, it's funny you say that.
I wonder what he's been up to.
If you have a moral issue against the voice cast of A Bug's Life, then let's just go to the more innocent film like Ants and their protagonist.
That's a different one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm the middle child of a...
Well, back to the Toy Story films, because that's what they're actually talking about at the panel right now. I will say this about the Toy Story movies. They each said, what's a different existential threat to being a toy, right? And the idea that in part 4, they ended with, what happens if a toy deliberately decides to become a lost toy so they can explore individuality? That's an interesting notion. What in the hell could they possibly be like about a toy just like fraying and wearing out and just naturally decomposing? I don't know, man. Sometimes these movies, like, I don't want to watch old Ghostbusters. I don't want to watch old Luke. I don't want to see my heroes like decrepit.
The thing that's interesting to me about Toy Story 5 that they're really going to have to walk a line with is the villain is, they don't call it a leap pad. I'm forgetting what they actually call it, but it's basically a tablet and it's all the kids staring at these tablets. So they're talking about like, whoa, 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 stop playing with technology, a thing we use to make this movie, and instead play with toys, which you purchase from a store that we sell in a store. And so far they've done like over 4 movies. They've done a good job of straddling that line, but I do worry that taking it to this realm of like computers bad is maybe a step too far in terms of confusing what the corporate message is coming out of Disney and Pixar. But we'll see.
You can tell it's not owned by Apple anymore.
Yes.
There's no way this plot
Yeah, right.
I feel like they made that Buzz Lightyear movie as like an attempt to pivot away from the traditional Toy Story and be like, okay, we still want to keep the IP, but we need to make it fresh. We need to make it new. What if we told the lore of these toys and like who their character actually is? And had that film been successful, I feel like the next thing they'd be doing Woody and Bullseye and what is the girl's name?
True. Jesse,
thank you.
Yeah.
They would be doing like what is the lore of Woody and Jesse and Bullseye? And I don't know if that would have been a better direction to go rather than making Toy Story 5. I feel like, maybe just let it go and come up with something new at this point. Not to say that it's not going to be good, but like, who's this for?
Well, it's not for us. And that's the main thing too. Like, unless you're a parent with small kids.
I feel like it is. I feel like it's
pass-
for Disney adults. I feel like it's for adults more than kids. The same way that Andy passes off his toys to the little girl at the end of Toy Story 4. This is like, talking about bringing your nieces and your nephews to go and see the movie. It's like, this is the toy that you played with when you were a kid, the Toy Story franchise. And now you're passing it off to them. Yeah. But it is,
and that's why,
maybe
and that's basically why all of these nostalgia movies work, because I loved Lilo and Stitch. I loved Barbie when I was a kid. And you take the next generation.
Like,
I love G.I.
We're
Joe
making a
and
live
Masters
action
Universe.
He-Man. Who's that for? It's
Right.
not for kids. It's definitely for adults who love
you're
nostalgia.
right. It is for parents because it's a form of immortality to pass it on, right? But I don't think they're maybe I'm saying this because I don't have kids, right? And I can't remember the last Pixar movie I saw in theaters, and it's because Pixar lost a little bit of their shine over the years, just because of straight to Disney Plus releases. So yes, you're right. It is for parents. I'm not a parent. I got a great dog who's like my child.
Yes, you do. He is a good boy.
We do have right now. They've moved on to Moana, and The Rock has taken the stage, and he's showing this picture of his grandfather, who Maui is based on, which I didn't know. I think that's pretty cool.
And he
Not
says
what he used to be, The Rock.
He's going to change the hierarchy of the Disney animated
Exactly.
Pixar universe is about to change.
Wow.
Imagine if he approached Moana with that same kind of like, we're taking all this over, like a wrestler energy. That would be amazing. Every live action Disney movie you've seen is shit compared to this one.
Also, I'm gonna appease the ScreenCrush wrestling fans for a second. This now explains why The Rock was in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend, because he was there for CinemaCon. Because everybody was like, The Rock is definitely coming back for WrestleMania. It's like, no, he's here to promote Moana. Maybe he's coming back at WrestleMania, maybe not, but I doubt it. And I would bet
WrestleMania is still over 2 days. It is,
but now it's only $900 on ESPN's premium streaming subscription, so it's very easy and very approachable for young fans to watch wrestling.
Wait, how much is it? How much is it really? It's not $900.
The Disney, I think it's $30 is the starting thing, because you have to get the ESPN, like you have to get the one that you can get the ESPN channels on it. You get all the WWE events, and you get like extra baseball, basketball, and golf, which for me is
not
great.
part of their Netflix deal. Isn't all of WWE on Netflix now? So
it used to be on
except for the pay-per-views.
It used to be Peacock, but no, it's now it's ESPN.
And I mean, I personally like the WWE Network. I thought that was really handy because you could go back and watch like old Manias, and they had these really cool documentaries. Because I didn't watch wrestling back in the day. My wife got me into it. So for me, it was really cool to go watch like the history of Vince McMahon and Steve Austin, because it was sort of always in the background of my life.
I think you're the first person in history to say my wife got me into wrestling.
I know. It's super rare, and I'm a lucky man.
Always the other way around, but good for you.
Especially, I mean, I was watching it like when women's wrestling was really having a moment with Becky Lynch and everything she was doing. I don't know. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole. That's a whole other podcast we could do. We do have. I
just wanted to link those two. I just that made perfect sense now because people have been going nuts about the fact that The Rock is in Las Vegas all week, and it's like, oh, he's there for CinemaCon. He's not there for WrestleMania.
Well, if we could just really quickly revisit this, guys. What is it? Whale Force 9? What was the name of that movie again? Can you remind me?
Dog stars, but I have big updates on Wild Horse 9. Josh Brolin is not in it, but I am now very excited for this movie. It's a Martin McDonagh movie, which he's one of my favorite playwrights and now writers and directors, starring Sam Rockwell, Steve Buscemi, John Malkovich, Parker Posey, and Tom Waits. So I'm in Wild Horse 9.
What movie is that? Also, Tom Waits is alive. I had no idea. What is that? Dog Stars? Which movie is that?
That's Wild Horse 9, which is now my Avengers Secret Wars. That is my that for me.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I mean, Martin McDonagh, you're right. Great playwright. Did Banshees of Inisherin, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the funniest, best dramas I have seen in forever. That's a great movie. I think, man, what do you guys think about? I think I already know the opinion here, but Disney live action remakes, right? I understand why they do them. I just wish they were good. I just wish they offered something new and they weren't just remarketing. I mean, I'm not opposed to them at all, but has there been one that was like, yes, that's a new thing?
I mean, it's been a while since I saw it, but the first one out of the gate, the Cinderella one, I thought was actually good because it was different. It had a take. That was the Kenneth Branagh directed one, right? Like,
isn't that the one where they're in present day?
No. It was like traditional Cinderella, but he had his own take on it. He shot it in his own way, directed it. The story was tweaked a little bit. Like, it still was the Disney movie, but it wasn't shot for shot remake, which is the thing that really bothers me because I love the animation and the animation is still there and it's iconic and eternal for a reason. So you don't need to just suddenly move it into 3D, particularly when most of these things are heavily animated anyway. They're just animated through CGI instead of traditional 2D animation. So 100%, I think you absolutely can do these things, but it's the same thing as with any movie. You have to think about, why am I remaking this? What am I saying about this thing that is different than what was said previously so that I can add something into it, add some nuance, add something different, and not just reproduce the thing we've seen before.
Well, Maleficent was a good example of that, right? Like, that was one where let's do it from the villain's perspective. A little too inspired by Wicked, and didn't the same author, Gregory, what's his name, do a book? Gregory Maguire, didn't he do a book about maybe not Maleficent, but about not just the Wicked Witch, but he was doing like other alternate like takes on different heroine, like villainous heroines?
Yeah, maybe.
I think he did. Okay. We've also got a couple more super chats. Keep those rolling, guys. T-Rush gave us $2 and said Kathleen Kennedy has to be from Jersey, right? I don't know where she's from. I know that's not a literal question. I feel bad for Kathleen Kennedy. I do too. She's
had a great career, and she you know, she started off as an assistant, and like, you know, she rose all the way to the top, and I think we've got a lot of good projects because of Kathleen Kennedy. I'm going to default to, she can't be from New Jersey. She's got a little too much taste.
She's probably from California.
Yeah.
But I know that's not why they were literally asking. I just feel bad for her, man. Like, her exit interview with Deadline, I was like, yeah, it seems like she really had a vision for this. And then the studio said, oh, nope, COVID, Disney Plus, take it over here. And you have to admit, as much as covering Star Wars TV shows has been great for me, great for the channel, I love The Mandalorian, it did hurt the franchise because it lost the luster. The Mandalorian and Grogu, if there had never been a Mandalorian TV show and there was this new movie called the Star Wars movie called The Mandalorian and Grogu, I think it would have a lot more excitement, especially if it had that trailer we just watched, which I freaking loved. I thought that was great.
Yeah, they should have kept it on the big screen. That's where Star Wars belongs. And like you said, there's a lot of really good TV stuff. I think having the animation on TV makes a lot of sense. They should have just continued with that rather than the live action stuff. And, you know, this is going to sound similar to what I just said about the live action Disney movies, but if they were going to do live action things, like with most of this, they should have thought, why are we doing it on TV versus here's a movie over the course of X number of episodes, which is the same problem that Marvel ran into for most of their TV shows and are now pivoting to reinventing TV after years of doing this.
I mean, they're pivoting to reinventing TV in the model of TV.
Exactly.
It is strange because when streaming first became a thing, I guess is a way to put it. Like, whenever shows were released for streaming. House of Cards is probably the first one. I can't remember the star of House of Cards or who he was, but it seems like he was great. Yeah. Anyways, House of Cards was the first one, but it wasn't made in the model of a modern streaming show, which sounds like a Gilbert and Sullivan song. It is the very model of a modern major streaming show. It wasn't made in that model. It was made like The Sopranos. It was made like a 50-minute chapter in a thing that you could binge because people were consuming The Sopranos and other HBO shows by getting DVD box sets and watching them. So we started with that. And then gradually, Sterling K. Brown had this tweet the other day that summed it up perfectly. He said, the thing is with commercial television, they need as many episodes as possible because they make money from minutes. If you have 26 episodes, you're selling 26 episodes worth of advertising. Not so with streaming shows. Streaming shows just need to keep you subscribed. So they just need to constantly release new seasons and new shows. So there's always something there. They don't, like, there's a breaking point. You can't just do a 3-episode season, but they would if they could. I think they worked out that 6 is the minimum, and that's what Disney Plus locked into. And now with Daredevil Born Again, they've receded back to the HBO style. Every episode is pretty much 50 minutes long. It follows traditional TV structure. It is episodic, so it's not what's the word when it's different. It's not like Law and Order where you can watch any episode. You do have to watch them in a row.
Serialized.
And I think it's great. Serialized. Thank you. It is serialized, and I think that's the way to go from now on. And you're absolutely right, Alex. They approached it from this other direction where Moon Knight was just kind of cut up into arbitrary sections. And it might mean we don't get a season 2.
I don't think this is the only reason this happened, but I do think part of it is because the Netflix binge led to, oh God, you watch the episode and then you have to watch the next episode. So they realized, okay, it's sort of sliding from, say, episode 1 into episode 2. Now let's slide episode 2 up to episode 3. And then it just sort of flattened out across the board. So it became, rather than doing these different sections, so people are like, okay, I'll watch through episode 2 and then I got to go do something else, and then they forget to come back. You have to sit there and you have to watch all 8 episodes in a row so the streaming service get those minutes. And now, like you're saying, Ryan, I think we're going back a little bit. People are understanding, like, no, that's not actually healthy for anybody. Nobody actually likes to be like, great, I have to sit down. My job, I mean, obviously our jobs, but like their job is to be like, I will relax and watch 20 hours of television right now before anybody else does. Otherwise I'm going to get spoiled. Now they're finding it a little more pleasing to be like, I could just watch one a week and that's nice. And then talk about it and think about it and dissect it a little bit. And that's just more fun, I think.
I do. When The Mandalorian came out, do you remember some fans were pissed off that they had to wait a week for every episode? I mean, it worked. I mean, by the way, if Disney Plus would have released everything in one day, I wouldn't be here. Like, the episodic release is what gave us our jobs, like at ScreenCrush. So I obviously like it for that reason, but I also just grew up with TV. I remember I am Locutus of the Borg. Holy shit. Now I have to wait months to find out what happens next. Like, that's a cliffhanger from Star Trek The Next Generation, which I have to point out to some of our viewers who unfortunately don't watch Star Trek. And why would you these days? And don't get me started on the Trek right now. I agree. And I think it was a rush into streaming. It was a tech rush. And now it's calming down. And I hope as part of that, it continues to emulate traditional TV structure.
Yeah. I mean, right behind me, I have the big Lost box set, and I feel like that's the commensurate example, because my second favorite thing was watching new episodes of Lost. My first favorite thing was the week between episodes of Lost, when me and my friends would just be like, oh my God, okay, I have these theories, and we got to talk about stuff. Yeah. I'd read everything online, every single recap. It's fun to do that. And if they had released an entire season of Lost at the same time, like you're saying, you don't have the chance to do that. You don't have the chance to like decompress and process and talk about the art of what's being put into it.
Oh, dude, the message boards for Battlestar Galactica, like immediately, nicole.com, like get right on there. And now we have social media. We have, videos like this, ScreenCrush and things where we can kind of react.
I think they've realized that it helps
them foundational.
Because of what you're just talking about, that organic conversation that happens week to week in between the episodes generates more buzz. And then, all my friends are talking about this new season of Invincible. I better go get caught up on it so I can watch with them and find out what's happening next. And whereas if you've seen everything, then nobody's sharing theories or debating about what might be going on in the show. They already know. So there's less conversation happening, which drives less people to go and see your product.
And Netflix yet still releases everything in one day. I just think that they are quantity over quality in a lot of ways. Not even quality is not even the right word, but they know that's how you hook people in. I mean, The Boys, for instance, The Boys on Amazon released their first season in one day, but then after that, staggered them episode by episode. And I think that's maybe a good way to do it. You got to hook people first. Like if Squid Game was released weekly, I don't think it would have caught on. Maybe not even Stranger Things.
I think they don't do this for everything, but the Prime Video model of releasing, say, 3 episodes on premiere day and then 1 episode a week after that is great. I wish the seasons were a little longer so it wasn't 3 episodes and then just 5 more episodes. Right. But that gives you that binge feeling of, oh, I'm really full. I've watched all of these 3 episodes. And a lot of creators have started to lean into the idea. Like, I feel like they did this with Fallout with the most recent season, where everything that was released on premiere day sort of felt like its own mini movie, and then they kind of went on from there weekly with the cliffhangers. That's good to me because you get the best of both worlds. You're doing the streaming model because it is on streaming, but then there's more to come throughout the next couple of weeks and months.
I do long for that water cooler show, though. I think Game of Thrones was the last one that we got that was like that. And you can't have a water cooler show on streaming as easily. I remember like when Kimmy Schmidt came out, we were all talking about it on Monday, but it's harder to manipulate it that way. I think The Pit is a really close thing right now. Do you guys watch The Pit?
Oh, yeah.
Love The Pit.
Holy hell. I mean, Thursday nights right now, I got For All Mankind. Oh, no, that's Fridays. But you got The Pit, you got Shrinking, which just finished its run. I look forward to a night of TV like I used to. Maybe this is something that I think at the next generation of kids coming up are going to rediscover and go, oh my God, it's so great looking forward to a night of TV. Like, yeah, that's what it used to be like. But you also have to think, I don't want to get too ranty on this because we do have some more news coming in right now. The most popular things on streaming services like Netflix are shows like Suits or Friends or The Office that were made with traditional TV structures. So there's something to that. I really hope that the streaming era doesn't decrease quality. And I really sound old right now. I completely think I sound like old man yelling at cloud. Like we're over here going, I don't need another Toy Story. Woody doesn't need to get old. There's too many Funko Pops and that's not my Batman. So, but we do have some news. The Moana stuff has finished up. And they are now they just showed the trailer for Ridley Scott's The Dog Stars, starring Jacob Elordi, Margot Qualley, and Josh Brolin, like Tommy was telling us earlier. Here's the thing. I'll be honest. I didn't realize this panel was 2 hours long. I was surprised to see this. I thought it was going to be an hour like most of them, but it has now been 1 hour and 37 minutes, which means we are gearing up. We are rapidly, much like Disney itself, we are rapidly running out of IP. So this is what they showed at the beginning. We're probably going to get, I think they already showed The Devil Wears Prada, but I would imagine, if not, we'll get Devil Wears Prada, Ice Age, and then we're going to be moving into Avengers, baby. That's going to be any minute. And I will say this.
You don't think they're going to end with Whalefall? Like that'll be the last thing?
They might end with Whalefall or Super Troopers 3. I don't know. What do you guys think? Where in here do you think we're going to get Avengers Doomsday? Are we going to get Ice Age 5? What's the release date for that? I'm looking it up now.
I don't know. Avengers Doomsday is definitely at the end. Like they're definitely 100% safe after the end.
Absolutely.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, Ice Age 5.
They're going to end with Gatio or whatever that is.
Gato.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. There's already been an Ice Age 5. It came out in 2016. What the hell are we talking about? Like, whoa, hold on. What Ice Age movie is coming? This is like the new Land Before Time for this.
This is a live action Ice Age.
Yeah, maybe
Ice Age Boiling Point.
Yeah.
Maybe they will talk about Ice Age 5. Maybe they'll be like, I know it came out a couple of years ago, but it was pretty good. Scrat did some funny stuff in that one.
This year marks the 10th anniversary re-release of Ice Age 5. This is Ice Age 6, which is coming out 11 years after Ice Age 5. I can't believe this is where we're at. We're talking about the Ice Age 10.
About damn time.
The Land Before Time of its day. It's scheduled for theatrical release in February next year. I don't know why it's not like big family time, but 2026 December is pretty packed.
When are we getting Alien Earth Season 2? Because if they coincide, I'm feeling a crossover. Feel like
why not? Why not?
They
All
should.
right.
They should integrate it.
What do we got?
Pretty
I thought
wild
they
reference.
executed Scrat with Clippy.
After what he did?
What they tried together.
So Daniel RPK, we know Daniel RPK, right? Friend of the channel, very reliable leaker. Shared the trailer for Ridley Scott's Dog Stars and introduced a question here. And I think this is what we should start talking about. He says they're releasing all the trailers to the public so far. Could Doomsday be next? Not enough next is like if it's up next. I personally don't think they're going to release the trailer to the public today. I think they're very deliberately rolling things out in a certain way. I think a lot of the normies don't know what the hell Cinemacon is. Back to the question from earlier, given what we've seen already today, what do you guys think we can actually expect Avengers Doomsday wise, apart from a description, which by the way, we're going to get a firsthand description from Brandon Davis shortly after, about 10, 15 minutes after the panel ends.
I would not be surprised if it's more akin to what Spider-Man Brand New Day did, where it's just a kind of out of context scene that they show you, like something that doesn't give too much away from the plot, shows a couple of the characters that we probably already know, and like honestly creates more discussion questions than it does answer anything or reveal anything. That would be, I would think that would be the smart playbook. I mean, I don't know what the value of showing a full trailer at CinemaCon other than, other than the obvious value of it'll be the most talked about thing on the internet for 24 hours until, I don't know, we invade Poland or something. So
I think if they did release anything today, maybe not a full trailer, maybe they show a short clip from the movie, but it has to include something that we have not seen yet so that it'll get that big spark and that buzz. And, oh my God, can you believe in the background of the clip that they showed, allegedly there's, you can see the Venom goop from the end of No Way Home, like slurp it around in the background. Like there's got to be something in it that makes everybody go, oh, holy shit, this is the thing that everybody needs to be talking about.
Is it just the Doctor Doom trailer? Like, because again, this is for cinema owners who aren't necessarily.
Alex, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah. I think maybe it's even the same thing as the previous little tone poems or whatever they called it that we got previously. But it's just like a short.
You called those tone poems.
Yeah. Well, they're not trailers, Ryan. They're not trailers. They're not teasers. They're narratives. They're telling a story, and you don't know what the story is yet, and we still don't know what the story is because nobody's figured it out. But they do the same sort of thing, like a minute-long thing, and it leads up to the reveal of Doctor Doom rather than a full trailer, rather than anything necessarily deep cut. It's just that thing to get people excited. Probably Robert Downey Jr. comes out at the end and does I Am Doom or whatever, and everybody goes nuts.
I 1,000,000% think that's, if they show footage, that's what it'll be. I think that we got that tease in Fantastic Four. It's the thing people are most excited about. I think we are going to see Robert Downey Jr. on stage, and they're going to show Doctor Doom. And maybe if they don't publicly release a trailer, we'll get a poster, which is good because I need new shit for thumbnails. We've been going off one image and like trying to cobble like from old movies and video games and stuff. I just want to freshen up the look.
Just put a bunch of arrows and circles all over it. Just as many arrows as you can fit on one thumbnail.
We've done that. There was one we did a few years ago. It was kind of a prank video, but it wasn't on April 1st. I think it was after the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. The video was called "Screw It, They're All Mephisto." we have Mephisto in the middle, pointing arrows to every single character from the Spider franchise. A poster could be fun too. Do you guys remember a few years ago when No Way Home came out? I was trying to pull it up, but I can't find the actual tweet. When No Way Home came out, they released this poster of Dr. Octopus's arms, and Sony was like, feel free to zoom in on the details because you could see like Green Goblin in the background. And that really gave like swiper, no swipey energy for me, like from Dorian. Like, can you see the Green Goblin in the background? Mike, I think we might get that kind of thing here, though. I think we might get like vague impressions of characters in the mist.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there needs to be something in it that sparks a conversation. And I'm sure, like, RDJ heavy trailer is a great idea because you're right. Their audience is the CinemaCon people that are there, that are booking screen time. But this stuff's going to get out. I mean, they can have all the laser things in the world to block stuff and whatever. Word of mouth is going to get around. The people that are there, sure, it is mostly theater industry people, but there are also just a lot of people that are like big IP fans that are there because they want to see the exclusive stuff. And those people are going to be taking full detailed accounts of everything that they see and posting it online. So if they see a little Venom symbiote slither in the background or something like that, or they see I don't know, like, remember in Iron Man 2 when they had the Captain America shield and he like used it as like a jokey prop, like just something like that makes people go like, ooh, that Leonardo DiCaprio meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would go like that. Like, we need something.
Here, I think it'll be more tied to multiverse connections. There's rumors about an early scene in the movie. I think they're true. I'm not going to say what they are, but it involves nostalgia in the multiverse. They might show something like that, but then people will know. So I don't know if they're sleeping on things this long. You know, earlier we were talking about the Alex Perez conversation. We didn't even get around to Wanda yet and the rumor there. And he pointed out that when they film these people, they take stunt doubles and they put masks on them. And then they fill it in later with CGI, or they film, you know, the plates of the actors. So like, even people who are working on the movie every day don't know who these characters actually are sometimes. That's the level of secrecy behind this. Let's see. Tech Life gave us $2 and said, sadly, he thinks that Toy Story 5 will flop like the Bills. Sorry, Tommy, I had to read it.
Hey, leave the
and
Bills
Mike.
up.
I forgot. Yeah, you're from up there too. And it's Romeo 1 gave us $5 Australian dollars. Good morning to you in Australia. Is anyone here excited for the Game of Thrones announcements? And they're making a movie about Aegon's conquest. And I hope Australia is safe from Tommy's wrath. I'm excited about it, depending on the creative team. I think Aegon's Conquest works better as a movie than a TV series.
Will that be released in theaters the way that the Sopranos movie was released in theaters? Or do we think it'll be straight to HBO?
I forgot the Sopranos movie was also put in theaters.
Wow.
I thought they announced the theatrical release for this Game of Thrones movie.
It is. Yes. It is. Yeah, no, I'm sorry to answer your question. Yes. But I completely forgot the Many Saints of Newark was ever in theaters.
Yeah.
Wow. Was that during? No, it was after COVID. But it was
like shortly after COVID.
They were doing that hybrid stuff back then. Wow.
I think they will. I think they will release it in theaters. I agree with you, Ryan. I would love to know a little bit more about like the creative team and who's actually involved in the thing before I'm like, yeah, let's go. But Game of Thrones is definitely on an upswing. Like Night of the Seven Kingdoms was great. I thought.
So good.
They have this play that's opening up on the West End that sounds really interesting as well. So I think people are like, they were ready to be done with it at the end of Game of Thrones at the final season. But even though House of Dragon, like fans are very split on it, I personally like it and I'm enjoying it. It's doing really well. Night of the Seven Kingdoms, this play, we'll never get the books, doesn't matter. But I don't know. I think like everything points to a movie is actually a good move for Game of Thrones at this point, and I'd be psyched to see it.
The only way we ever get that book is if you outlive George R.R. Martin, because it'll come out posthumously, like for sure.
Did you read that interview with him? I think it was in Deadline. It was the saddest thing. He's basically just stuck in an endless writer's block loop right now, where he keeps second guessing himself. I just wish I could tell him, hey, don't worry about it. It's okay. You can do whatever you want, and we'll love you no matter what.
Do you think that's because of what happened with the show? Because people hated the ending of the show so much that now he's like, oh, I got to really figure out how to.
And also just external pressure. I think that he's kind of like that character from, I don't know if you ever saw Wonder Boys, but Michael Douglas's character, this writer who has something he calls the midnight disease, where he just compulsively types and he can't like prune his own tree at all. But we got some news. We got some we're building up to it. Brian Duffield's new movie, Whale Fall, follows a scuba diver followed by a sperm whale and has only 1 hour to escape as he gets digested. So it sounds like 127 hours.
Let that whale fall. Fall in the whale. Gotta get out
Is
of
anybody
the
reporting
whale.
about how much time he spends before the whale? And I guess we'll find out how much time he spends after the whale if he gets out.
How long's the movie?
It's 53 minutes. He dies before
it just picks up from him inside the whale, and it's a real-time movie.
Oh boy, you're probably wondering how I got inside of this whale.
Yep, that's me.
The guy who swore he'd never go near the ocean.
I know what you're
3 weeks
thinking.
earlier. He's in a cubicle and he's like, God, I just wish I could have some adventure in my life.
I wasn't always stuck inside a whale digesting me over the course of an hour.
And then after the flashbacks, it turns out he's talking to a fish that's like dead and flopping, kind of like at the start of Thor Ragnarok. Marvel Updates just tweeted this announcement. I don't know where this was announced. Disney has announced Infinity Vision, a new certification for premium large format theaters, highlighting the biggest screens, laser projection, and immersive audio. The first launch begins with the re-release of Avengers Endgame, followed by Avengers Doomsday. Sounds to me like someone's pissed they weren't on the IMAX screens for their release.
100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly
definitely,
what it is.
Definitely.
It's like, we don't need IMAX. What are you talking about?
We have Infinity Vision.
Yeah.
And Discussing Film has filled us in on Hexed. Hexed apparently is what they're talking about now. The first look at Disney's animation to original Hexed. Actually, I think it's 3D, but this image looks 2D. Follows a girl who discovers that she may have access to magic and sets out on an adventure with her mom. Starring Haley Steinfeld and Rashida Jones. That's a damn good cast.
Great.
In theaters in November for Thanksgiving weekend, which means that's why Doomsday is there instead is in the Dune land instead
Not
of
Disney
releasing it
Pixar,
Thanksgiving.
just Disney Animation. I noticed that the other two on there, like Gato has the Pixar logo above it. Toy Story obviously has the Pixar logo above it.
Yeah. Yes. And
So
traditional
there-
Disney
is
animation
Gato
put out
coming out?
Zootopia, so they're on a big win streak.
Is Gato coming out this year? So that would
Let's
be
take a look.
3 Pixar movies in the same year? That'd be
Probably not. I think that they learned their lesson. So I'm going to guess it's about a cat.
Mhm.
Haven't seen much about it. 1 second.
It's actually about the Impractical Joker, Joe Gatto, which is
Oh, okay.
About time. About time.
pretty
Yeah.
exciting
His
that he's
animated
finally
story.
getting his due in animated form. Yeah.
Well, the kids love him. The kids
It's about a guy
absolutely
that's
can't get
trapped
enough of
inside
him.
the stomach of a cat and he has an hour to get out.
He's
We
got
probably
1 hour
won't-
before
And it's
he's
Black Cat from Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Oh, so it's actually Sydney Sweeney. He's trapped inside Sydney Sweeney and he has an hour to get out.
Trapped. Okay.
Somewhere Colton's in a hospital and went like this. Getting to hear that premise.
Shothra.
I wish he was here. All right. And yes, it's coming out March 2027. So we're probably not going to see anything about it this year, which means if you're counting down, we are rapidly running out of IP and we are approaching Avengers Doomsday. So it's been real fun talking to you guys so far. I do apologize for me being occasionally distracted. I want to get to one other piece of news. Now, we released a video earlier today about this that you guys can watch on the ScreenCrush channel here. And as a reminder, listen to us on all podcast platforms, and we have new membership tiers where we're going to do monthly watch parties and give you a 50% discount at our merch store. The latest bit of news here from Alex Perez. Somebody asked him, is Wanda in the movie? She in Avengers Doomsday? He said, I can't say without compromising my source. But then he said that Dr. Doom does something in this movie that only 2 other people have done in the MCU, and you have to ask what skills could he have learned from Wanda? So to me, and right now they're showing Ice Age 6 boiling point, to me, what this implies is that Wanda could be in the movie, but also Dr. Doom is doing something that only she and one other person have done in the MCU. Before I talk about what we put in our video today, what do you guys think that could be?
It's got to be
Take your time.
dreamwalking. Has to be.
That's good. Her
She
and Doctor
dreamwalked
Strange.
And Doctor Strange dreamwalked. That's the thing that only 2 people have done.
I like that.
I don't know who else has done this, but just illusions. Like she.
Well, Loki does duplication casting.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's changed whole settings and things like that. I don't know.
Okay.
My guess is randomly change accents halfway through the movie. That was
That's the chaos magic.
Only
She got
2, though?
Americanized.
Only 2.
yes.
But she got Americanized right up until that episode of WandaVision.
I
where
love
she went
her.
up
I
into
don't care
hell.
if she doesn't speak at all. I think she's wonderful. That's fine.
So did they say that it was something magic specific, or all they said was it was just he does something that
yeah.
only 2 people have done
Right.
prior?
I don't remember if it had
And it's
magic
got to be
involved at all.
something.
No, it didn't.
Um,
I don't think I read that article. I don't think he mentioned specifically magic. He just said he does something in the film that only 2 other people have done previously.
It's not time travel because a whole bunch of them time travel.
Well,
it's not.
one of our guesses was actually reverse time, which Thanos and Doctor Strange have done.
What
I
if it's
don't
that he-
know if it's that.
What if it's that he survives the void? Only 2 people have survived the void: Deadpool and Wolverine.
Or what if it's dress up as Ant-Man? Only 2 people have dressed up as Ant-Man, so he.
Oh, that's a really good one too. Yeah. You guys can let us know in the super chats what you think it would be. We've also got a couple super chats to get to. Here's what Dreamwalking's great. We didn't think of that. Here's what we came up with: creating life, because Tony did it with the Vision and Ultron, and Tony's Doctor Doom or whatever's happening with that shit with Robert Downey Jr. playing both of them. But also Wanda did it, and that is a specific skill that Wanda could teach him. Dreamwalking's probably more likely, but the idea for me goes back to the comics. Destroying the multiverse and restarting with Secret Wars. Maybe his original plan was to create life. Or if, like, there's some rumors that he lost his family in an accident, maybe Pepper Potts, makes sense that he would want to recreate life and bring them back, which would kind of bring the multiverse stuff full circle. Because really, the first multiverse film was Into the Spider-Verse, which was driven by Kingpin, trying to bring back Vanessa, which would explain why the Watcher appeared in the episode of Daredevil where Vanessa had her accident. Spoiler alert.
It could also tie into why there's so many kids in all of those narratives that they dropped earlier this year, that there's some sort of magic spell he wants to cast with kids to create life. He's doing a whole vampire thing or something like that. This is very ill-formed, but I'll keep working on it.
Well, actually, somebody in the super chats built on what Mike said. So Silhouetted Animator gave us $2 and agreed with you, but then they also added the wrinkle Dreamwalk into Tony's body, which is why Robert Downey Jr. could be playing both characters. What do we think about that?
I think he would have to dreamwalk into another Tony Stark in another universe. I don't think they're going to do the zombie dreamwalk thing twice.
You don't?
No. And also, where is Tony's body? Like, was he buried anywhere? Was he cremated? All we got at the funeral was Pepper laying a wreath on the lake and like pushing it across the lake. We never see a coffin. Like, we don't even know if he's buried anywhere.
That's a good point. I didn't necessarily mean this Tony's body. I didn't even think about the zombie Tony. I was thinking about like a Tony, like a variant maybe.
Yeah, so it would have to be a Tony from another universe, in which case, how does he get there? Is there a Tony Stark in the Fantastic Four universe? Well, no, because that's Doom, right? Like, so there would have to be a Tony Stark in the X-Men universe that he could inhabit and then come over.
And the other thing is too, he would have, don't you just dreamwalk in your own variant? So maybe this is holding up less and less, unless Doctor Doom is a Tony Stark variant. And that doesn't explain why he has their face. That would make sense.
Yeah, you dreamwalk into a version of yourself in another universe, but you could look different. You could have a different name. It's just somehow you.
One of our super chats I was about to say this, beat me to it. Our Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans picture just posted by Variety. They are at Cinemacon, and the Marvel Studios presentation is about to begin. We'll bring up a picture really soon. Silhouette Animator gave us $5 and said, "Don't be fooled by discussing fish in this age of misinformation." Check. Have you guys ever seen a discussing fish tweet?
Yes.
They're amazing. They always do like fake articles, and they're just real enough. I got fooled so hard by one of them once that said Eternals 2 is happening. And I retweeted it like, yeah, like looked like the biggest idiot from that. But yeah, man, it's about to happen. Let me post a picture of the screen here in just a second.
Oh, yes.
All right, so we're coming into the final moments here before information starts to pour in. I imagine the presentation will take probably 10 minutes. And then we'll have Brandon Davis on about 10 minutes after that. Thank you guys for staying over. I know I lied about how long this was going to be because I was ill-informed. But I want your final thoughts and predictions based on what we've heard. We know Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are there. We probably aren't going to get a big cast announcement. So what are we thinking? What shall we see?
Well, let's look at the obvious. Red screen. Who do we know is Red?
Done.
Daredevil. Red Guardian.
Done.
Red Skull. Red Hulk.
Spider-Man.
Love where this is going. Yeah. The red and Iron Man red armor too. We've been on here a long time.
The red
communism's
M&M.
back.
The red M&M,
the big
who
red
is
dog.
also on death row. I believe they are
Elmo.
just executing the red M&M. Elmo.
Ho.
Santa.
Santa will return in Avengers Doomsday. And all right, guys, we are coming right up on it. Keep the super chats coming. YouTube sucks bad. Give us another $5 and said, Clippy and the people of Ohio did nothing wrong. Well, you're half right. I was notified by our lawyer earlier. We're not technically supposed to be addressing the Clippy situation with any kind of insider knowledge. So we do apologize to the families of Clippy's victims for making light of everything that happened.
Yes.
I don't. I'm glad it
really,
happened.
Oh my God. Mike,
Do it again,
Mike.
Clippy. I'll represent you. I still don't know what he did.
But he'll take the case. Mike needs the
I'll
publicity
take the
right now.
case.
Speaking of publicity, Mike, you got any shows coming up lately?
I do, yeah. I'm in a show tomorrow night at the Second City here in Chicago. It's called Swiped. It is an improvised heist movie. So if you like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, or any other heist movie, it's very similar to that. You, the audience, tell us what we are stealing, and then we make up the whole show on the spot. That is tomorrow night at the Second City here in Chicago if you're interested. And yeah, I don't know. I got a bunch of other shows and stuff coming up. You guys should follow me on Instagram at Mike M Comedy. That's where I post everything when I eventually find out my dates and stuff. But yeah, I have a lot of shows coming up this month and next month.
Ryan, can I
Very
plug
cool.
something?
Yeah, man, go for it.
I am going to be at the Great American Comedy Festival June 18th through 20th in beautiful Norfolk, Nebraska.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
You can go to greatamericancomedyfestival.com for tickets to that. I'll be doing stand-up. I'll be doing improv. And I'll also be on the street fist fighting anyone who wants to come at the king. So
You best not miss.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan, before we move on, can I plug something real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I have
Yeah.
a movie coming out later this year called Whale Fall, where I'm trapped.
All right.
Wait.
We got news.
What's it about?
Oh, yeah. no,
Well,
we
it's
need
a
to
bit
go
of a
for it.
secret.
Let me get the synopsis first.
We
It's
do have
Josh
news coming
Brolin in
in,
it.
guys. It's been
Do you
very
have
short.
a hit theme song by a whale version of Adele?
Of course, it has literally anything
got
you
it all.
want. We're actually taking requests right now because we haven't finished.
What's the popcorn bucket situation look like?
It's
Is
a
it-
big whale with its mouth like that.
It's exactly
Kind of what I expected. But yeah, I mean, go for it. I'd be disappointed if it was something else.
Yeah.
All right. Discussing Film has just said Kevin Feige is now on stage at Cinemacon and is saying movies are meant to be seen on the big screen. We also have another report from Discussing Film that Avengers Endgame theatrical re-release will include deleted scenes and other surprises returning to theaters in September. What other surprises could we be talking about?
I
do you
feel like
guys
this is a rumor a while ago, but I like this. I feel like this made a lot of sense that we actually get an end credit scene this time that leads into Doomsday. Like,
love that.
It had none originally. Throw one in there. That would be a big surprise for people, and they can go back and film something that connects it in some way.
That makes the most sense. I don't think we'll get remember when they put Infinity War back in theaters and they threw that that Hulk deleted scene in there? I hope it's not just something like that. I do want it to be something else more substantial. I'll throw one out there. It won't be this. This is entirely silly. But remember in Back to the Future 2, how it was revealed that Marty was in the background the whole time?
yes.
What if it was that, but with Doctor Doom? So it didn't feel like it was coming out of nowhere the whole time. That'd be all right.
What if at the end it's three cloaked figures at a grave with a shovel digging up the bones of Tony Stark? The hoods go back. Clippy, Scrat, Red M&M, grave robbers, disciples of doom.
Okay. I'm looking for more updates. We don't have anything just yet. I do think we are going to get the Doom Disciples in this movie, though. There's been
excited
rumors
about
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think it's going to be really cool. And just checking, okay. We've got somebody here. T. Rush has given us a suggestion. Give us $5. Thank you. Black screen, Steve Rogers' voice. Somehow Iron Man returned. Finn, pure cinema. Yeah, those are all good theories. I think that releasing Endgame right before is a very clear signal that they are not even trying to make this a culmination of the multiverse saga. It's just going to be a sequel to Endgame, and probably the right way to go. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think
Yeah.
you did.
There was, I feel like we talked about this on a previous stream, but with them having the sound of Tony Stark forging the armor at the end of Endgame, if that final scene is him forging the Doom armor instead,
That'd be awesome.
Very cool.
Yes.
And then and it's interesting because Marvel doesn't really release director's cuts or anything with expanded scenes. I've said in the past, I think they should take Age of Ultron and restore those deleted scenes, especially the Thor Norn cave, because it does such a great job of setting up Infinity War. I wonder if they could say, okay, this is the canon version, if they'll start doing like special editions, and then maybe even like what they do with Star Wars, replacing those editions online. I mean, it's a way to sell more Blu-rays. What do you guys think?
If it's better.
I don't know what
sure.
other deleted scenes they could easily slot in that wouldn't have like a huge effect on plot. Like I think we know about like some of the deleted scenes from Endgame. Like there's like the one where Tony is in the like Soul Stone orange sky
with his
universe
daughter
and
grown up.
has a conversation with grown up.
Yeah.
Like I think that's really cool and a really cool idea. But if they went back and like canonized that and put that in the film, I feel like it would have repercussions for like all of the stuff that they're doing now.
It's also not a great scene. I mean, that one in particular, I just never thought it's confusing. Why is she older? We didn't see this person before. It doesn't fit with the Gamora thing where she was younger.
Well, that's what I'm saying is I feel like all of the deleted scenes were things that they were like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And then they were like, no, never mind. We should take that out. It's too confusing, or it's too many hats on hats. Get rid of it. So I don't know what they could add that would still not like clutter the whole thing up and almost
got to be something that sets up Doomsday. Yeah. We got video of Robert Downey Jr. entering the stage as Dr. Doom. Let's watch. He's just wearing a green suit. I don't know if I would say Dr. Doom. All right, we're going to stop it there, though, because that's the Rolling Stones, and this video will get taken down. But that's pretty cool, entering to Sympathy for the Devil, because the Russo brothers did talk about, we want to create a villain that's sympathetic. That's why they wanted Robert Downey Jr., because he's an ideal person for this kind of thing. And it kind of underscores that, literally underscoring that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes sense that he's there. I'm glad he is there. That certainly, I think, points to we're going to get Dr. Doom footage any moment now, whether we'll see it online or not, TBD. But
we'll see. I mean, Kevin Feige in his speech said movies are meant to be seen on the big screen, which is, I'm sure he believes that after almost taking his brand with Disney Plus shows.
By the time I finish this sentence, they'll probably have already said this in some fashion. But if they do show off like another one of those 1.5 minute long teasers, do you think it's most likely?
Hey, they're showing the trailer right now. I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. Sorry. Okay, Kevin Feige on Avengers Doomsday. This film takes place where Endgame left off, but also goes back to where it started with X-Men. And apparently, according to Marvel Updates, not discussing film, the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday is now being shown at Cinemacon. So here we go. We'll see. We might get to do a reaction right now.
Brandon Davis's Twitter implies that is what's happening, because it's just a lot of expletives right now.
Nice. I'm going to bring up Brandon's Twitter right now. And
I
Brandon
do hope
will
that we
be
get that scene of him in the cave, like the banging, the clanging at the end of Endgame. I hope that's the opening of Doomsday, and it's Tony in the cave, and you think it's that scene from Iron Man, but then instead of the guy that was in the cave with him, it's Wong, and he's like, "What are you building?" And he's like, "Something mystical." Something to that.
I'm going to quote Brandon Davis, who's going to join us in a little bit. His tweet says, "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Wow. Oh my God." I don't know if we're going to get it or not. Over under. I don't think they'll release it. That's me. I think that they're going to wait until Comic-Con. But we do have a description from Discussing Film now about what was on here. The first trailer for Avengers Doomsday was just shown at CinemaCon. Thor fighting Dr. Doom and reuniting with Steve. Thor, Professor X watching an incursion. Mystique turning into Yelena. Shang-Chi and Gambit having a fight sequence. Well, let's unpack those one at a time. Let's bring this image up on the big screen here. So, guys, starting off, Thor fighting Dr. Doom and reuniting with Steve. What are your thoughts?
Great.
Yeah, very exciting.
Well,
they
have this.
How is he fighting?
Every battle they have, speaking of hammers and Dr. Doom, every battle has had that, moment with Steve and Thor kind of going, "Oh, you copied my beard, and I see you, you take the big one. You take the little one. I want the big one." So it's cool that we're going to have that. But I wonder if, Thor's trailer was really dark. Like it sounded like his daughter was under threat, or at the very least that he was never going to get to see her again. So I'm wondering if it'll be that lighthearted.
I'm really interested about the fact that Thor is reuniting with Steve, because at least my hunch when they first announced officially that he was coming back and showed the trailer, that it was going to be just a little thing at the beginning with Steve Rogers. But the fact that Thor and Steve are meeting certainly seems to confirm that there's a bigger role for him in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, according to reports, Thor is a main character. Thor and Steve are the main characters.
Yeah. Where does that leave
also,
then Reed Richards and Doom, which was a big concern of everybody and certainly of mine, of like
a big time of me, because
yeah, I mean, I want to see them go head to head, but if the main characters are Thor and Steve, I guess that's fine, but it feels like Reed Richards is just slowly moving to the background there.
Or maybe it's kind of like how Steve Rogers wasn't a main character in Infinity War, but he was in Endgame. And it could be the same thing where in Secret Wars, which, you know, Alex, in the comics, he's a big, I mean, he is the one who remembers. He is the one who takes down Doctor Doom and sees through his, you know, God Emperor Doom bullshit and takes him down. Here we go. We got more from Discussing Film. Steve Rogers and Thor reunite in Avengers Doomsday trailer. Thor says it's not possible until Steve reaches for Mjolnir and it leaves Thor's hand coming to his. So right there, the fact that Thor is even bringing Mjolnir along, like Love was using that one. He was sticking with Stormbreaker at the end of the movie, right? Why do you think he says it's not possible? Because he's seen him use it. Do you think it's?
Is he saying it's not possible
or?
it's not possible that Steve is young again?
Could be. Which goes
Didn't
back
Love
to
have Stormbreaker at the end? I feel like he took Mjolnir back and gave her Stormbreaker. Or am I imagining?
Is that how it was?
I feel like at the
I don't
end,
remember.
I remember them when they go out at the end and it's like Love and Thunder and they go fight somebody together. Like she's holding Stormbreaker and it's like bigger than her. I have that distinctly in my head. I might be wrong.
I don't remember. I watched that recently too. I'm just so excited about getting to see this trailer or getting to hear Brandon talk about it. I'm pretty buzzed right now. Not literally. That's a can of Element water, not alcohol. Welsh Wings gave us £5 and said, got an idea for how they can bring in Kang and a hell of a plot twist, but it won't happen. He Who Remains is a hologram / AI created by Doom in a 5D chess move, which means that he also would have created an arena full of Kangs for us to look at. That is like a fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. That's like 16 walls, to quote Deadpool 2. And then Mystique turning into Yelena. That's the kind of crossover I am pumped about. That's the kind of thing we really want to see from these. And Professor X watching an incursion, there were rumors that came out a while back that the X-Men universe had been through multiple incursions before, that this is kind of old hat to them, which explains why they would immediately be combative with the Avengers. Alex, refresh our memory. In Time Runs Out, in the build up to all of this, what was the storyline where the Avengers had to fight a group that from another universe, and how that can be replicated in this?
Yeah, I mean, in broad strokes, basically the way the incursions work is that you have the characters like the Avengers, or more specifically the Illuminati, who are the smart cabal that are fighting back against these incursions, have to destroy the other universe. It's never 100% clear how that works. It's essentially like destroy the other Earth that's coming through and you continue to survive. So they keep having to make these hard choices about, do we sacrifice billions of lives to save our billions of lives? And they do many, many times. So if what you're saying is accurate, Ryan, about the movie, it sounds like the X-Men have figured out how to destroy all these other Earths that are coming through incursions in order to save their own Earth, which certainly makes a lot of sense for the X-Men, who are usually sad about stuff all the time. So if they're bummed out about, oh God, we had to kill billions of people, and then this final universe, the MCU, is coming through, and is their last shot at saving their universe, that certainly sets them up as adversaries, I'd say.
Yeah, and the X-Men are always facing their own extinction as well. Sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I was just going to say, that's a really interesting thought that they've been dealing with these incursions for a long time, and so they're used to it by now. So then when Monica shows up, like, are they thinking, oh, like she's the harbinger of another incursion that we're going to have to deal with again? Or are they thinking, hey, we actually got to talk to somebody from the other world this time. Maybe we can fend this thing off and stop it from happening?
I hope so. I'm going to be real bummed out if we get to this movie and the X-Men are the villains the entire time who are just trying to kill everybody. But there is also something interesting about they're like, oh, you come from this other universe that's about to break through to ours, and they torture her, or Professor X is combing through her mind and trying to rip all the information out so they're prepped and battle ready. That gives them the upper hand on the MCU.
Got another piece from Discussing Film about the trailer. Everybody's slowly kind of like, I think the press are like leaving right now. Brandon will be on his way out. I'm not sure where he's going to talk to us from. Doctor Doom fights Thor and stops Stormbreaker with just one hand in the Avengers Doomsday trailer. Awesome. And this is something that the armor that Doom wears in the movie, people have pointed out. It has elements from all these different heroes, Captain Marvel, etc. Some people think that he is collecting trophies, but he definitely somebody who, a big part of Doctor Doom is he's not just a scientist who builds robots, he's also a sorcerer. So it makes total sense that he would have the power to stop Stormbreaker. Kind of like a Hela, right? Am I wrong?
Suit of armor is made of Uru.
Uru combined with vibranium. That'd be amazing. I mean, that's Doom, though. He would take everything available to him and make the ultimate version of it. I can bring this description up right now. There it is. That's the new one. And then we've got another update real quick. No word from Brandon just yet. 1 second. All right. Says they have uploaded a full description of the trailer. We're going to hear firsthand from Brandon in just a second, but I'm going to read you guys what they're saying. I think it's safe to say they're not going to release it online. I didn't think they would just because Comic-Con is just a few days before Spider-Man Brand New Day. And they don't. They lied. They don't have the description up yet. So that's my bad. They have the site where they're uploading them, but they don't have theirs up yet. Apart from nostalgia, what are you guys hoping we get out of the X-Men in this movie? I mean, it is kind of hard when they announced they were going to be in this. I thought, well, that's the whole point of the multiverse saga, is the nostalgia saga, right? Do you think that there was anything left in this franchise where we were like, yeah, we need a satisfying story conclusion here? What's left unresolved from those old X-Men movies? Apart from, it's the X-Men, we love them.
Nothing, I think. I mean, I say this as somebody who loves the X-Men, but we've said goodbye to this franchise like 5 times at this point. So
5? Okay, wait, X-Men 3.
I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, no, I mean, but you're not wrong. It's kind of
elements of them for sure, because Logan, X-Men 3, Deadpool and Wolverine, like, they're like, we've said
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past. That's 4. Like, there's been elements of these saying goodbye to these characters for sure. I'm very excited they're in this movie. I don't know, other than I'm going to discover when the movie comes out why they're in this movie, and comic book history, like pulling from comic books. But like, in terms of the Fox X-Men movies, I'm glad they're there. I don't know why they're there.
I mean, just tying together some of these threads that we're speculating about here, and it kind of makes me feel a little weird if this is actually what they're going with, but the X-Men could be like the grizzled veterans who have dealt with all of it, and the MCU is the younger, newer universe. The reason it makes me feel weird is MCU,
that makes total sense. I love that.
Yes. I mean, the MCU is the universe we spent a lot of time with at this point, but having them being beaten down by these incursions, basically, like, we've seen it all, we've given up, and the MCU, or potentially even the Fantastic Four, who are even newer, coming in and giving them a little hope, giving them that extra push to try to figure things out, even though I think we can be pretty confident they lose at the end of this movie anyway, is potentially a reason to have them there to provide a contrast with everybody else.
I love that, like, if Professor X is watching an incursion, that makes total sense. Again, there's spoilers I don't want to get too far into, but I love the fact that I think we even did a video like, hey, the X-Men probably is the first universe, and the MCU splits off from it. And it makes sense if you look at how many times the X-Men have affected the timeline. And also, in a way, Kitty Pryde has Logan dreamwalk into his past self in Days of Future Past. So right there, he's a nexus being in that universe. And maybe that's why when he dies in Logan, that universe dies, because that was a tangent point for that timeline. So yeah, I love that kind of thing. I hope it's not too exposition heavy. I always think like in Endgame, one of the most important scenes in that movie is when they describe time travel. And it's like, it's all this like retrocausality stuff, and Bruce Banner says past doesn't change the future. And it's very confusing. But then Paul Rudd steps in and says, wait, so Back to the Future was a bunch of bullshit. And that sells the entire movie in one sentence. It's like in Austin Powers 2, when there's some weird time travel shenanigans. And then like Michael York looks at the camera and says, don't worry too much about this. And Austin Powers also looks at the camera and says, yeah, let's just have a good time. That was that scene. And I wonder if there's going to be something in this where, you know, we love to theorize, oh, what if Kang and Wanda created Tony Stark and all this stuff? But I'm looking for like the most elegant way they can get this across. And this new report from Discussing Film, they're coming in like crazy here. I'm still waiting to hear from Brandon for a firsthand account. Says the Fantastic Four and the new Avengers meet with Thor in Avengers Tower and Avengers Doomsday. Thor remarks that Doom is the scariest threat he's seen, similar to when Thanos kicked the shit out of him at the start of Infinity War. So what I'm taking away from this that's interesting is that he meets Doom before everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. The fact that we got footage from the movie where he's with his daughter, he's got short hair, and he leaves her. Or maybe Doom does take her away. I mean, what do you guys think?
Yeah, because why else would he have Stormbreaker and Mjolnir? Wouldn't she have one of them if they were separated and she was okay?
1,000,000%. Yeah, I love that.
I'm going to rest my case on that. Excellent.
Not
to throw some doubt on it. It could also be this happened very quickly in the room, and some people are typing Stormbreaker and some people are typing Mjolnir, and it could be one or the other.
Bingo, bango. Absolutely. Yeah. How dare you?
Well, in that trailer, I thought at first, okay, well, yeah, Doom kidnaps his daughter, but then Thor says, return to her, right? Not necessarily return her to me. And I thought, okay, did he have to leave her side or did Doom take her away? The more I think about it, the more I think it makes sense if he took her, because like she's got the power of eternity. Earlier, I talked about the theory that he's trying to create life, create a universe. It makes total sense that, you know, killing eternity would be a way to kill off sections of the multiverse. Discussing Film also just put up Robert Downey Jr. is using an accent in his voice for Dr. Doom and Avengers Doomsday. Dear God, I would hope so. Otherwise, he's like the Tim Story Fantastic Four ones. They also said his mask looks very similar to this. And they showed the image that's already been released. It's on the thumbnail of this video. If you are watching, you want to check it out. So he's in the trailer. We have seen him. We just don't have access to him yet because they're probably not going to put the trailer online.
I think it's really interesting that this says the Fantastic Four are with them with the new Avengers. So we've already seen that the Fantastic Four are going to wind up in Wakanda and meet the Wakandans. So do we think that happens prior to this? Like, do they arrive in our universe and first touch down in Wakanda and meet all the people there? And then Shuri is like, well, you should go talk to the Avengers in New York, and sends them away. Do they come with, like, or are they meeting at Avengers Tower first and then going to Wakanda to go and recruit them?
I think because of the post-credit scene in Thunderbolts, that it's going to be that they show up at Avengers Tower. That's where like my head goes. That if the Fantastic Four, or they split off from there. I don't know, because we didn't see the whole Fantastic Four. We only saw Ben Grimm. So if the Fantastic Four are traveling from their universe to another universe, where are they going to go first? They're going to go to New York. They're going to look for the alternate versions of themselves. Like, I think that's the first person Reed would look for. So it makes total sense they would go there. And of course, what do they find? These knuckleheads instead. Imagine you're the Fantastic Four. You've saved the entire planet multiple times. You've created a utopia. You think, okay, we can do this. We're in another universe. We know this threat, Dr. Doom. We can't beat him alone. We need the heroes from this world. And you come across the Thunderbolts. You come across Red Guardian. Imagine they come off the ramp and the first person they see is the Red Guardian. We got another tidbit that's come out. Scott Lang kisses Cassie Lang on the forehead in the Avengers Doomsday trailer shown at Cinemacon. That's very interesting. This is according to Marvel Updates, right? Cassie Lang's in the movie. I'm not sure I expected that. In fact, did they even announce Paul Rudd was in it?
I don't think so. Oh, no, they did. They had the tiny Ant-Man chair. In the chair.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. Right. But I kind of, maybe because of the reception of Quantumania, I mean, look, I've talked about this on the channel before. I'm pumped for the Champions or Young Avengers, whatever they call it. It's a great comic book, great characters. You love Ms. Marvel and Kate Bishop. They're fantastic. Joe Locke as Wiccan. And it's kind of interesting that they're in the background. We've talked in the past, I think Colton just did a great video about the Young Avengers up on the channel about, are the Young Avengers in that space arc? Do they remember the old universe of God before God Emperor Doom took place? And is everything going to be saved by this new team? Looks like Mike's tapped out briefly. I'm going to take him off the screen right now until he comes back. And I'm just going to text Brandon Davis real quick. What do you guys think? Do you expect the Young Avengers to have a role in this, or what are we looking at?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to see them in some fashion, whether they're going to be central, given we've already mentioned 35 characters just from this one trailer that we're talking
At least.
about. Yeah, maybe not, but I could see them doing, helping with an evacuation of New York or something like that. Right. Or, to pivot off of what we just said, Ant-Man being like, you stay at home, it's too dangerous, Cassie, and her saying, no problem, and then joining up with her friends to go do something different. But it would be crazy to me if we get to the end of this movie and don't see some form of Young Avengers, even if they don't call themselves Young Avengers.
Sure. I agree, although the only caveat I would say is that Cassie Lang also fits the description of child of one of our heroes that Doom could use to put him in peril or put him in an emotional peril. So it's like, unlike, Kate Bishop, where it's like, that she's not directly tied to one of the original Avengers. Oh, she is to Hawkeye, but not as a child. It's like Cassie Lang is similar to Love in the sense that it's like, kidnapping her, kidnapping Franklin, kidnapping, she might just be a target of Doom that just happens to be a little older.
Given the example that you made earlier, Ryan, and now that we know that Robert Downey Jr. is doing a voice, do you think he's going to do Fat Bastard from Austin Powers and be like, I'm going to eat your baby?
Yeah, 100%.
Taking your babies.
Hey, not bad. Not bad. The guy who has an ear for bad Scottish accents. That was not too terrible. It wasn't on Gargoyles level bad at all. Well, here's the thing, guys. I have not heard from Brandon yet. He's obviously, leaving the place and stuff. He's got the link to join us, but on his own socials, he has posted a description. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read this description, and then when he gets here, and even if he doesn't, but if he gets here, we will ask questions of him, and you can type in super chats. I know we've gone a lot longer than I thought we would. Thank you guys for sticking around. Now we're getting to it. This is it. Here we go. We see Xavier's school sign on the ground. A narrator says something's coming, something we may not be able to deter. Narrator, that's interesting. I wonder who that could be.
Ian McKellen.
Xavier, well, I think he would have said Ian McKellen. Xavier sees flames come from the sky out of his window, looking genuinely scared. Doom is presumably one who has been narrating, slight accent and all, and we see him start to rise in another setting, hood and mask on. So when Doom says something we can't deter means can't stop an incursion, we've got to find another solution. The new Avengers Tower with a new A logo is seen. The building is updated and has 3 spires. That's interesting. The Fantastic Four meet Bucky, Ant-Man, Captain America, and more in that building. I'll assume he means the rest of the new Avengers. We hear Thor telling stories of his people dying and how this threat scares him more than anything before. So he hasn't necessarily spoken to Dr. Doom. He narrates the rest of the trailer with this quote. So we can take something away there where his people are dying. So is Doom killing Asgardians?
I thought that was a reference to he's seen his people die before from Thanos and from Hela.
I gotcha. And yet Doom scares him more than all of that. Very good. Thor's narration continues. I have fought with many warriors in my time. They were far stronger than any of us combined, and they died. They died facing enemies and threats. Brandon will be with us in 5 minutes. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less than this one. Everything that we sacrificed will be for nothing if we don't stand together. That's interesting. If you return, you will return as brothers and sister. But mark my words, we're going to need a miracle. brothers and sister. Natasha? The original Avengers plus Natasha? Cyclops is seen in a new shot. Gambit fights Shang-Chi, both using their powers, and it looks epic and like a dance. Fucking A. That's cool as hell. The Fantastic Four, I think he meant four. The Fantastic Four meet Wakanda in a desert made because water has been forced away, surrounding them like giant walls. So that's interesting. That's, again, we were talking about in some of our breakdown videos, like the natural events that, you know, Doom could be screwing with or that incursions are causing as planets start to end. As Yelena marches past a concerned Reed Richards, she literally fights herself, and we see one Yelena was Mystique. See if Brandon's here yet. He is not. Okay. Almost there. As Thor's speech is still going, Thor smashes Stormbreaker at Dr. Doom, who simply catches it with one hand. He emphasizes, we're going to need a miracle to conclude his speech. Hey, pal, is heard from someone off screen, maybe somebody trapped in a whale. Aboard the Fantastic Four ship. It was Steve Rogers, complete with some long hair and a beard, leaving Thor in disbelief. Steve raises his hand, pulling Stormbreaker from Thor's and catching it with a grin. So not Mjolnir, you were right, Alex. It was actually Stormbreaker all along.
Why does he have long hair and a beard?
Shit. Don't know.
Cap does? This is the Cap that just came from like his nice, 1950s aesthetic life. Where he, like, that sounds more like Nomad Cap, right? The only time you see him with facial hair is when he's on the run. So why does he have long hair and a beard?
And the fact that he says, hey, pal, like, okay, so one theory we had is like Steve's son, little son, James, is probably named, is taken by Doom or killed by Doom. Doesn't seem like that's the case. I don't think he'd be like, hey, pal. He'd be like, hello, Thor. If it was like a really dire, serious situation. So, holy shit, man. I can't wait to see this trailer actually online. A couple of things there that I thought were really interesting were Thor has faced Doom first. And it's not like Thor is from the multiverse, right? Thor has seen Doom take some people down. I 100% think Love is getting kidnapped in this. I think that that's the way to bring his movie and give it purpose. And to, like I said earlier, it's like, what could they possibly tie in thread-wise to the rest of the multiverse saga? I think that's one of them. What do you guys make of Wakanda in a desert because water has been forced away? Well, not Wakanda. They meet the Wakandans in a desert. So if you put all of the water off the ocean floor, it wouldn't turn it into a desert, right? So I think that's maybe something else that Doom would have done using magic, or it's just incursions are hitting. And when incursions hit, it could wreak havoc with everything happening around.
Does Namor have the power to do that? Like, does he have the ability to like create water walls around? Like, no. I don't. That's what. Yeah.
No, not in the MCU. I don't think in the comics.
They could do
this
some
could be
sort
what
of
draws
sorcery.
Talokan in,
or it could be a Wakandan Talokan like technology mashup where they're like, we created these safe zones for us to meet by using the technology of the Talokan and the Wakandans, so we're able to like create these little like pockets in the ocean or whatever where people can safely meet. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, guys.
Can I say though, when the Fantastic Four go to Wakanda, I know you said like maybe it's not all of them, maybe it's just Ben Grimm. I really hope Sue is one of the ones that goes, just so we can get that scene of like Namor seeing Sue for the first time and being like, who is this?
Hello.
Like, I no longer care about anything else. I only care about winning this woman's love and affection.
I mean, I'm, like I keep going back to when the MCU was like really cooking, right? Like when it was first, when I was going to the stuff and going, oh my God, they did it. They did the Battle of New York. They did the Avengers. They did Daredevil right. I'm always up for these moments from the comics realized on screen. Brandon is in the elevator. As soon as he's out, he's going to give us a call. So I'm excited about that. Before he does, is there anything else from this that stands out to you guys? You can save your questions for Brandon where you're like, oh, that's something that I hadn't thought would happen.
I still don't know if Brie Larson's in this, right? Where it's like unconfirmed or we don't know. I was going to say, like, if they're kidnapping people to draw other people out, maybe they kidnap Kamala Khan and that gets Captain Marvel to be like, oh no, okay, I'm gonna come too. Just in the same way as
sure.
Oh, just like what we were saying earlier about like who could get kidnapped and who would come to their aid. I think for each one of the young Avengers, there is an older superhero or Avenger that would be like their like sponsor or like their person that would be like, I have to go save this person.
Mm-hmm. So you're oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, on a different thing, I do think it's interesting that there were a lot of theories that I saw that Doctor Doom was going to be kind of palling around with everybody before he betrayed them. But based on what we're hearing about this footage, it seems like, no, he's just straight a villain right from the beginning.
And they've also said various leaks and things that we don't. I think John Campea had talked about this, so we've talked about it on the channel that they don't reveal Doom until the end. We don't know that he looks like Robert Downey Jr. and it's for a good reason, which I like. I think he should be Doctor Doom, and I think the fact he looks like Tony Stark should kind of be immaterial, at least at first, because then he gets to be Doctor Doom and not have that Tony Stark legacy. And I'm sorry,
I hitched a ride to our universe with the Fantastic Four. Like, is he on their spaceship? Did they all come over together?
No, I think he grabbed Franklin and then used him to go through the multiverse. Or maybe he was already doing that. Like he was not in the Fantastic Four. Like when they pan past that Doom, the Latveria delegation, he's not there. Mm-hmm. Maybe he was not there because he was discovering incursions and discovering, like Reed talks about the multiverse in the movie a little bit. Maybe Doom realizes Reed needs to be more preoccupied, like care about this kind of stuff more. Mm-hmm. You asked earlier, and I kind of glossed over it because I was texting Brandon about why does he have the beard and long hair? I mean, that to me is one of the more interesting things about this. So Steve settles down, he's got a kid, and then he's got to leave. He's got to, once again, put all that aside in order to help with the greater good and to maybe go on that quest that ends him on that bench to give Sam the shield, which is also interesting because maybe he doesn't know that that's eventually what he's going to do. Maybe he just thinks that Bucky, I mean, that's the thing when Steve gets in that time machine, does he know he's going to live for 60, 80 years and then show up and give Sam the shield then? Like, wouldn't it have made sense to give him the shield before he left? He knew, right? When he time traveled, he knew he would end up there. So for all the talk about Back to the Future being bullshit and retro causality not being a thing, it definitely seems like old Steve or Steve, when he knew, like, at some point, finds out everything that's going to happen here. Why would he have that beard?
I doubt this is what is happening, but maybe that Steve we saw with the baby is actually later in his timeline, the Steve with the beard. Like they grabbed the Steve with the beard sort of mid Infinity Stone return or right after that.
All right, here he is, guys. The man of the hour. He's messing with his phone right now. My first time actually getting to speak to him. He is the creator of Phase Hero. A lot of people know him from comicbook.com. He's a wrestling enthusiast with massive guns that I'm looking at right now. He's moving his laptop around. I can see it off screen. He's listening to everything I'm saying as I'm putting more and more pressure on him to get here. Brandon, you don't know this, but we thought the panel was 1 hour. We've been talking for way longer. We've been vamping like crazy, waiting for this guy who's still not quite ready. He's moving his laptop around. Are there any super chats I can use to fill time right now? Because Doug needs to walk.
Yeah, here, I got something to kill time.
Hold on, no, we're good. Brandon Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Straight from the floor of Cinemacon. Brandon, it's nice to flip and meet you, dude. We've never actually talked.
We've emailed, we've texted, we've seen each other's faces on the internet, and here we are actually like talking in real time. It's nice. This is you're just as beautiful as I thought you'd be. I miss you.
You're great.
If I'm on a little bit of a delay, let me know because I don't think I am connected to the Wi-Fi. So the alternate would be getting off the Wi-Fi and just use my phone. But I raced here. I'm at 16%. So we're going to take this phone for all it's worth.
Let's go, baby. We already read your description of the trailer, so we know what happened. Thanks for that. We're also plugging your tweet down below later on. We got a couple super chats, but we're going to save the super chats if anybody has questions for Brandon. Brandon, give us not necessarily the details of what happened. Give us your impression of that trailer, emotionally, how you feel, and then we'll ask you questions.
That's the most emotional I felt about probably a movie without seeing the whole movie since I say Infinity Wars footage debuted at Comic-Con in 2018, maybe, or 2017. Nice. That was insane. I mean, I'll put it this way. I know there's a lot more content creators and influencers in the room, so there's probably a lot more people willing to get a little bit more raucous, I guess, and embrace being a fan than the press side, which tries to, be a lot neater and professional. That's the stereotype of both sides of that. But it felt like when that trailer ended, I just yelled out, "Play it again." And it echoed through the whole place. Like every single person in the room, I think it was influencers, press, theater owners, everyone went from like, I'm here to be a professional and like do my job to I'm back to being a fan for a minute. Like there was an energy in the room at Cinemacon that has not happened this year for sure. I mean, there was some incredible stuff shown this week. I mean, Dune 3 looks amazing and everybody's raving about it. The Thomas Crown Affair got great reactions and rightfully so. It looked amazing. But this felt like there were like, it was just chills throughout the whole place. It exceeded expectations, I think, and turned everyone in the room into a fan.
I'm excited. I mean, we have all these reservations we brought up about plot wise, but I'm pumped. Let me ask you a question. When Steve said, "Hey, pal," to Thor at the end of it, and he had a long hair and beard, 2 questions. Did it look like Nomad level beard?
He was wearing casual clothes.
Huh. He wasn't in uniform.
No, he was not in uniform. I'm pretty sure he might have just been wearing a unzipped sweater. If I remember, I don't know.
Oh, like Mr.
Exactly.
Rogers style.
But he was pretty casual. He was not old man Rogers. He was not Mr. Rogers, but wearing an outfit that I think Mr. Rogers would find comfortable.
That's where we're at. Looking for scraps of this trailer. Did he seem upset, like his kid had been stolen, or was it just like, "Hey, pal"?
He seemed cocky. He pulled Storm, like Thor was talking about this whole monologue throughout the whole thing, saying we need a miracle, and then you hear "Hey, pal," and actually the way he said "Hey, pal," I thought it was Tony Stark. The voice made me think it was Tony for a second, because then Thor's reaction before you see Steve is Thor goes, "Impossible." So I thought that meant it was Tony because he thought he was seeing a ghost, but then it cuts over and it was actually Steve, which I'm not sure why that's qualifies as impossible. But he sees him, and then Steve raises his hand and just pulls Stormbreaker out of Thor's and holds it there and gives him a grin as if to say, like, yes, it's really me. Look, it's the guy you remember as worthy. I'm ready to join the fight.
Stormbreaker or Mjolnir? It was
Stormbreaker. It was Stormbreaker.
Was Mjolnir in the trailer? Because there was conflicting reports on that.
Mjolnir was in the trailer, but when we see Thor in action, he's using Stormbreaker. I mean, he throws Stormbreaker at Doom, and it gets caught by one hand, and Thor gives that same "oh shit" look that he gave when he was fighting Thanos, honestly.
Or Hela too, right? When oh god, I'm like buzzing right now, trying to think of the right thing to ask. When you saw Doctor Doom, this is somebody who's
the moments that got the biggest reactions were a few seconds in, you see Doctor Doom sort of, I think it was kind of a battlefield, and he's kind of hunched over, feeling the dirt on the ground, and he's got his mask on and his hood over, and you get a almost full body shot of him as he stands up. Like it follows him up, and you see the whole thing. You see the mask straight on. It looks really cool. And when you first see Doom, though, that gets a pop. And then I'd say the other biggest reaction was James Marsden Cyclops, new footage of him, seemingly in like maybe a broken down X mansion. It might have been the X Mansion. It might have been the Sanctum Sanctorum. The stairs get blown up, and I was like, didn't enough happen to these stairs last time the Avengers had a big fight? And so James Marsden got a big pop. Shang-Chi versus Gambit got a big pop. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Yelena being revealed as Mystique got a big pop. That the whole place went nuts for that. It had that energy of watching Endgame in a theater. Like that's what just happened at CinemaCon. I don't know if Doomsday releasing in theaters regularly is going to have the energy that just happened at CinemaCon. I hope it does, because I think it makes these movies fun. And going to a theater like this with people who are excited and are going to exhibit that excitement, hopefully in a way that doesn't inhibit your ability to hear the movie, is a lot of fun. I just think those first weekends with Endgame were so much fun. And this, like CinemaCon, just had that reaction to so many moments.
How was Dr. Doom's accent?
I'm not even going to try to recreate it because it'll be terrible. It wasn't super thick, and I honestly don't know if I can even identify what it was. I can't say that I know, like, if there's a Romanian accent in our, like, I can't say that I know what that sounds like off the top of my head without, like, just thinking of it. It's not like something that comes to my mind, like Irish or French or Spanish or something like that. But he did. It wasn't like a super thick accent, but he did have a little bit of an accent while he was speaking. If that was actually him, because obviously he has the mask on, but the way it's cut leads you to believe, yes, this is Doom speaking and telling you you're about to have to make a very impossible choice, which I'm assuming means save one universe or another.
Who do you think he was talking to? Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Maybe the way it's cut makes you think he's crashing into the X-Men world first, but it's hard to say because I don't think we saw anybody opposite him in the same setting other than Thor that I can remember.
Was there footage, or was this a fake thing of Scott Lang kissing Cassie on the forehead?
Oh, if there was, I might have missed it. I mean, I was typing away too, trying to get notes down. So
I
might have missed that.
No, we were following different accounts.
teaser.
Sometimes people are full of shit. Marvel Updates, I think, said that one, but I could be wrong about that. They're usually pretty reliable. Go ahead, Mike. You had a question.
What was the description? I don't know if this was from his description or another one that we read about like the water, like the ocean going up into the sky and creating a wall and then like leaving a desert. Can you tell more about that? What was that?
So remember in Endgame when Strange cleared the water out and it basically at the remnants of Avengers HQ, it was much larger than that. It looked like, I think this was the footage we saw in those teasers that were released, where it looked like just a white sky behind them. Actually, it is like the interstellar wave off in the distance, much more animated to the point you can tell it's a wave and you don't think it's a mountain. But it's the Fantastic Four meeting Wakandans in what looks like a desert because it's just dry ground because the water has basically been forced aside and it is
like
creating
Moses, like it's just
it's like the water has split and it is being held out, and then I'm assuming as soon as they leave, whoever is causing it to be there, it will come back in.
So we think they're meeting with like Talokan in that moment? Like maybe it's Talokan technology that allows them to like let Earth, like land dwellers come and visit with them?
Huh.
Or is it part of the incursion? Is the water
I don't know because it was
up into the sky?
It looked like maybe I think it might have just been like the Fantastic Four found a safe place to meet with the Wakandans. I think it's like I think everybody's and I don't know if there were any I don't think Namor was in the scene. He is in the trailer. Like there's a bit of he's in the trailer more than once, but I can't recall anything specific he was doing other than just looking like a badass and like zipping through and flying around. But I don't know if he was in that scene because it was the Fantastic Four. They have new suits, which looked really cool. And when Thor met Steve, it was on the Fantastic Four ship, which is kind of interesting. I don't know how that happens, but that's an interesting piece of a puzzle to start wondering how.
So everybody meets up in Avengers Tower, the Fantastic Four, Thor, and the New Avengers, correct?
No, I wouldn't say everybody was there. I don't know if there's a single shot of everybody, but I think the ones I know for sure were in the New Avengers Tower, which has the giant A with the red and then this new style A on the outside.
And three spires?
Yeah, and it's weird because it's kind of rounded now. It has three sort of curved triangular spires coming out of the circular shape. So it's like a very big overhaul to Avengers Tower, honestly, it looked like. But I could say Ant-Man, Sam Wilson's Cap, the New Avengers.
Okay.
Who else was in that one?
Shang-Chi?
I don't remember if he was there. No, Shang-Chi looked like he was in wherever the Xavier school was because he was fighting Gambit, which it's interesting that Gambit's there at all too because I think we last saw, he got out of the Void, so... it's a lot of pieces to try to put together here. It's a phenomenal trailer. I mean, it was really good.
So Shang-Chi is going to go to the other. Are people going to go to the X-Men world? Are we going to have battles happening on both Earths simultaneously? I kind of assumed that all of the fighting and everything would take place on Earth 616.
Well, there's clearly a big fight at Xavier's school in that universe. So I kind of think I think this kind of is going to lead to an Avengers versus X-Men of sorts because I think you're going to have and maybe the Fantastic Four are what bridge that gap somehow. Because but I don't really have a reason to believe that. I'm just making stories up as I think to try to connect these dots. But I think the New Avengers and Sam's Avengers. Maybe Shang-Chi isn't even with them. Maybe he somehow gets sucked into the other universe or goes on a small team to see what's happening. with Fantastic Four or something. I don't know, but it looked like there is clearly some big action happening at Xavier's school that is clearly going to get destroyed at some point. But it looked like whatever was starting the trailer was what destroyed Xavier's school, and by the time Shang-Chi is there, it's basically abandoned. If that was the school, because we do see what looks like the Sanctum having an explosion come from underneath the stairs, but I can't, like, it's so quick that it might have also been but the school has the stairs that go up and out, but I guess the Sanctum has similar stairs. I wish I could remember. I wish we had it. I wish I could have had a video of it. Man, I would die. We could dissect this thing.
They shine those lasers that kill your phone now, right? So
I'll tell you, seriously. But honestly, huge thanks to Disney for letting people film anything in there, because it's the written coverage is fun to make. I don't have the self-confidence to go out there and do what a lot of the content creators do and just show my excitement and just talk like this to my phone camera and then post it on TikTok. I've tried it. I don't like it, but I'd rather write a tweet description. But I had good props to them who can do it. It's not something I think I have the skill or confidence to do. But the fact that now because that's how they get their reach and their video views and stuff. The fact that Disney is the only studio at Cinemacon that allowed us to take some videos, and hopefully people respected it and don't leak this footage, because it would just be such a bummer that they blow it for everyone. Like the interact, like the moments with Downey and Evans on stage are fun as a Marvel fan to see, and we get to share those now because I have them all on video. As soon as we hang up, I'm about to go edit a video that just kind of rounds up all the moments that I have filmed from that panel. I tweeted some of them, but I filmed them in 4K, and I'm excited to share that.
No, Brandon, real quick. Sorry, I know you got to go and edit this video. I just have one more question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised was the audience about what a letdown the new Avengers trailer was after the Whale Fall trailer? What was the
Let me tell you something. Whale Fall looks. Can we curse here? What's the swearing policy?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
That movie looks fucking batshit insane. It was like,
let's go.
Day one watch, if you want to be for me, I can't wait to see it. It's going to make you so damn uncomfortable and claustrophobic, though, because that dude literally gets tangled up by a squid that is fighting for its life by pulling on a human man trying to get out of a whale's esophagus, and it ends up, and you see it from the point of view of getting swallowed by a fucking whale. It looked horrifying. You watch the squid get mangled by the swallowing process and the soul leave the squid's body, only for the human to know he's experiencing it next, and the fucking trailer ended going down the throat of a whale. I was like, what?
Okay.
How is this?
All right.
So honestly, the trailer itself was a great short film. It was amazing.
Okay. By the way, Cassie Lang confirmed by Discussing Film was in the trailer.
Okay.
Breakdown. Yeah. I don't know what.
And Whale Fall is coming out the same day as Dune 3 and Doomsday, right?
Yeah. They figured that was the best marketing strategy.
Great.
Yeah.
All right.
I find the Infinity Vision thing they rolled out a little confusing. Have you guys been able to clarify what the Infinity Vision thing is?
Nah. Basically,
we
think it's sour grapes from. There his phone went dead.
Nah.
Oh no! Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wait. I got an email here. I actually didn't know my camera would turn off, but I have an email about what Infinity Vision is.
Oh, there you go.
Infinity Vision sets a new benchmark for theatrical presentation, certifying auditoriums that meet rigorous technical standards, including a focus on the largest screens for maximum scale, laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, premium audio formats for fully immersive sound.
So it's not like any type of new infrastructure or new technology. It's just a standard that they are going to award to certain theaters that meet their criteria.
I think
so. Sounds like we didn't get the IMAX screens for Dune 3, so we're gonna.
Well, they did for Fantastic Four. They did in Fantastivision or whatever it was, right? So I think this is the same thing. Just being like, we're showing it on good screens.
It's just branding. Yeah. I was thinking maybe it was like a new type of projector or something, and I was like, well, that's
which is what George Lucas did, back in the 80s when he George Lucas was instrumental in theater standardizing their sound and picture quality.
That's what I thought when they first started presenting it, but it sounds more like a system where there will be ratings on screens and how to find the highest quality screen to go watch the movie on.
It's Cinemacon. It makes sense to talk about that. That makes sense.
I would assume that by mid-January, they're going to do a now you can go buy a ticket in IMAX thing. You saw it now. Now go see it again in IMAX. And I mean, will I buy a ticket to do that? Probably if I don't get to go to like an early screening, and I want to see it in the biggest screen.
I was kind of surprised they didn't move it up a week. It would have been really convenient for me and my holiday plans. But hey, what can you do? I think you're right. It will go into IMAX because it's not that crowded of a screening process in January. Well, Brandon, I can't thank you enough, man. This is great. Thank you, dude. I'm looking
thank
forward
you
to your
guys so much
coverage.
for having me.
Thanks,
you guys are all awesome. I appreciate you guys. Can I just real quick, I think within the next hour, my YouTube channel is going to hit 100,000 subscribers, which is thrilling to me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It is primarily interview content because people like you are too good at breakdowns. So I decided not to do breakdown videos because I was like, there are 3 people I'll never be as good as. It's you, Paul, and Eric Voss specifically were the 3 that I was like, fuck that. But and I was like, interviews are the only thing I really know how to do well. So I'm going to stick to it. And you guys have so many awesome things already covered. But I just want to say thank you for having me. And
dude, thank you. You're the go-to guy in this space. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Have fun, guys. I'll be listening.
All right. Bye. Well, we're actually going to wrap it up there. If you guys are watching the whole time, I didn't know we would go this long. I thought we'd be up here for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. If you have a chance after the credits roll, please stick around for a little bit longer. And I want to thank everybody who was shouting out questions on the super chats. Looks like we got to everybody or just about everybody. It's been fun. I've enjoyed talking about whales with you guys. Again, you can find everybody's links below. Mike's got a comedy show coming up. Tommy is always on break. Alex has his own podcast, and he's also in a movie about a whale or something, I think. Thanks, guys, very much.
Swallow it whole.
Right. We're going to dismiss y'all one at a time. And there we go. And I want to hear from you guys down in the comments below. What do you want to see? What are your questions about Avengers Doomsday and the trailer? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Or you can find me on Substack or on our free-to-join Discord server. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe, smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.